UGA finds a way to gag away another game against the Alabama Crimson Tide, as does LSU on the road at Ole Miss, and Penn State. Another big game, another big-ass L against Oregon. All this adds up to Oklahoma moving on up in the top 25. Let's talk about it. Good evening, or morning, or whatever you want to call it. And welcome back to the Late Shift, Hall of Fame college football. I'm your host, Jason Watkins, and if you love college football, you are in for a treat. So don't forget, smash that red subscriber button, like our videos, and don't forget to ring the bell so you don't miss one moment of Hall of Fame college football. Welcome into the show, everybody. We got a treat for you tonight. Believe me, we got a treat for you tonight. Gonna have to wait on a couple of these shows to finish up on the Bama side before we get too crazy. But don't you worry. It's gonna be real here in a little bit. Gonna have John from the Bama Standard on here shortly as well. Hopefully my boy Brinsky ain't too scared to get on here and back up that shit he was just talking a minute ago. Hopefully he ain't. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to shoot him a link too. 1 second. Let me do that. We'll see, though. Welcome in, Derek A. Cox. Man, ain't nobody else in here? Nobody else saying nothing? Come on. Get it going. I enjoyed seeing Auburn lose again. You know, I wonder what their excuses are going to be now. Is it going to be what we've been saying is the problem with Jackson scaredy-ass Auburn? Jackson scaredy-ass Arnold, excuse me. They always got something to whine and bitch about. So we'll see what they bitch about this time around. But just like I said, they'll be lucky to win 3 of their next 6. They certainly are not going to get into playoff contention, as we heard from a bunch of the all bum, folks over there. Wildness. Yeah, maybe here in just a minute. Here, just give me 1 second. Let's see how long it takes for old John and them to get in here. But you can pop in for a second if you like. Let me send it to you. I'll send it to your. Should I send it to your X account or what? Oh, I'm crazy. You already know. I'm crazy. To your X or what there, legend? Where you want it? Tell me. And then, hey, the big reason to come in here, I know everybody should have been watching that Bama Georgia game. And how is it that everybody keeps giving Georgia all its props and everything? They ain't winning nothing. They're not winning national championships. They won the SEC last year, but they keep on losing to they continuously lose to hold on, fellas. Hold on. They continuously lose to Alabama every time they play. They can't even win the damn game at home. But, it is what it is, man. And then another one. Let's talk about Penn State. Let's talk about Penn State a little bit. Got to hear what it is about Penn State that they just can't get it done. Let's see. Headed y'all's way with the link in your emails. Let me get. right, let's see. Ole Miss looks good. Or does LSU look bad? Which one is it? Because I'm not sure I agree with you. I'm not sure I agree with you. I don't think Ole Miss looks like anything you can't beat. Because I want to know which one of the teams coming up on Oklahoma's schedule, which one of the teams coming up on OU's schedule is going to be able to handle the Oklahoma defense in front seven. Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me which one that is. Because I don't think it's Ole Miss. I don't think it's Ole Miss. And makes me wonder, how good is that front seven from Georgia when, we saw Tennessee deal with it fine, and we saw Alabama deal with it just fine tonight. Hell, Alabama ran the football on it. Doesn't make a lot of sense. I can make a sandwich before Jay can get to his third read. That's a fact. Does Florida beating Texas save Napier? Boy, Florida fans better hope not. Because beating Texas ain't that big of a fucking deal right now. I just got to be honest. With you. That leak is in you guys' email, fellas. It's in you guys' email. And I already sent one to Brinsky and John, too. So when they get here, we're going to have them on because I got some stuff to say to them. Let's talk about Tebow and USC with a loss to Illinois. Ain't that wild? Well, I tell you, USCJ, I don't see him anywhere tonight. I was watching that game, cracking up the entire time, watching Lincoln come apart in another game. And if you noticed, he made sure to make his excuse pre-game during the week. Oh, we played as late as you possibly can last week, and now we're going to early as you possibly can go this week for a USC team. But, we'll deal with it and blah, 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 blah. Oh, you didn't deal with it very well, bruh. Too bad. Such a shame. Hey, let me ask you this. We're seeing a Big Ten that's been doing a lot of this for the last 2 years. I got to know. What the hell? I mean, all this trash about the Big Ten being the best conference in the country, and they're not beating teams that they should be beating. They're not beating teams that they should be beating. There ain't no way in hell that Illinois should have lost to Indiana. But then if you're as good as you think you are, USC, then where's your win? Where's your win? You should have won that game. This team came off getting beat by 50 last week. 50 mo flicking points. And you can't find a way to go down there and handle business being a playoff team according to USCJ. According to USCJ, that's a playoff team. Make it make sense, folks. Make it make sense. It's wild to me. All right. Welcome into the show. The fellas. What it is, folks.
What it was.
What it be like.
Hey, nothing but smooth.
Hey, what a day. What a day
What a
today.
day.
Yeah, no doubt.
Something else, man. I mean, look, we'll start with Tebow. I was just there. We'll start with Tebow. What the fuck? Oh, USC supposed to be back this year. They got that number one class loaded up that they're gonna come in here and go to the playoff. Number one recruiting class will be in Southern California this year. And what do? They go on the road and gag it away to a team that lost by 50 to Indiana last week. Explain that to me.
Facts.
Well, Jason, I'll use this analogy. Being a hunter, when you have a wounded predator in the field, they are very dangerous. And last week, Illinois got skull drug, so they was already pissed off, and they was a wounded animal, and USC just happened to feel their bite after being wounded.
Tell me that USC ain't a wounded ass animal after back-to-back years of 7 and 5.
Jason, I'm trying to help you make it make sense. USC is on the stages of bleeding out right now.
Guzzling it out. It's just pouring.
Look, the fact of the matter
Seriously.
is, you can't talk about it. You got to be about it. And they're starting to find out it's not an
Yeah.
easy walk to walk. You can talk all you want. When it comes down to it, you still got to do the work on the field.
And that's the format, and USC sucks. And that's the format, and USC sucks.
And call your team trash. That's what they are, trash.
Trash. Terrible. Terrible football. I love it. All the shit you hear constantly from USC fans around, and they always go back to, what about Oklahoma? What about Oklahoma? What about Oklahoma? What about Oklahoma?
They don't want that fire.
Man, the smoke is already there. This been there.
Yeah.
Still talking.
Yeah.
Still talking.
I just think that USC is on the downfall as long as Tebow is there. And what about, I thought they got a new strength and conditioning coach. They didn't look strength and condition to me.
I don't know who he is.
I mean,
I know they fired.
And this defensive coordinator.
Yeah. I don't know. They did. I know they fired.
And they're supposed to have it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And they're supposed to have this almighty defensive coordinator that walked on water and is the second coming and the Messiah.
Bro, and they run.
Where was that?
Simple off tackle runs, simple off tackle, and getting to the house from 50.
Yeah.
With a slow ass running back.
Yeah.
A bruiser running back running away from secondary cats at USC. Go make that make sense. Shout out to the Gridiron Insight. Our boy Marcus Dent. Link will be in the bread line in December. He liable to be. He's liable to be talking about bread lines. What about the Penn State bread line?
Ooh.
Penn State gets another game at home against another top end team and goes. It's no good.
Choke. I mean,
but Allard,
that one still has.
But Allard,
go ahead, Bishop. Because this game, I can't put a finger on how in the cornbread hell, how.
He's a big ass gagger, man. Old dude just don't. There's no way. They had every opportunity in the world with Oregon starting the way that they did to run away with, not just win, run away. Kotelnicki ain't helping. It's tied up into their damn DNA at this time. It's tied into their DNA to gag that shit away.
Yeah.
Go figure it out.
No excuses.
Yeah,
they had it.
Talks tonight. Where's our Penn State talks tonight? I bet you his ass don't show up in here. Trash.
Yeah.
And call your team trash. That's what they are, trash.
Death, taxes, and Penn State choking on the big stage. Thank you, A. Merrill. Welcome to the show. Welcome into Satterfield, goated, Sooner in Texas as well. Hey, there's Ghost, my boy Ghost. Blessed Vet. What's up? Welcome into the show, everybody. Glad for everybody coming in. Jeff Davis, Karma for Sandusky. Possibly. That could be it. Maybe that is what that is. They maybe never get to win a big game again because of that shit. And I'm okay with that. What about Auburn? Number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 8 of the top 10 got beat. Oklahoma is on Auburn's mind. Oh, they're gonna stay on Oklahoma because damn for sure they can't focus on the task at hand at Auburn. and I said all bums. They're a bunch of all bums. Weak, soft, trash. You got a quarterback that is scared of his own fucking shadow, but for whatever reason thinks he has time to sit back there and, as somebody said earlier, make a fucking sandwich in the backfield instead of throwing the football. He's so afraid of throwing an interception. Yeah. That's all he's got left, is that he hasn't been turning the ball over yet. And so he's so afraid of making an interception that he won't throw the ball. How many times? Somebody tell me how many sacks there were in that game today?
7.
7
sacks. He's been sacked 17 times in the last 2 weeks. Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting,
Coach Smoke.
I'm waiting for the Auburn AD. I'm waiting for the Auburn AD to make his statement next Thursday, saying that the 12th man cheated at Kyle Field.
Yeah. What did I say? I said it on the show on Wednesday. This dude is so. They were so caught up in what the hell happened at Oklahoma that they weren't even focused on that team that Aggie has, which they got a good offense, and their defense hadn't been good yet. He's cooked, absolutely cooked, Coach. Absolutely.
Cook is an understatement. They had, into that last drive, they had -2 offensive yards. -2.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. As soon as it went to UT,
so what
OT, I knew it was all Ducks. Penn had to win in regulation or not at all. You ain't wrong, James. You ain't wrong.
You know,
go ahead.
I'm going to say this. You know, Hugh Freeze has some good running backs. Why don't he use them? I mean, Cobb he's if you get him going, he's a pretty deep. He can juke, but Hugh refuses to run. He thinks that Jackson Arnold can sit back there and pat the baby, and dude, he don't have it up here.
Pat the baby. Just pat
Bless
the baby.
His little paw.
Like Ryan Williams.
Pat the baby.
Like Ryan Williams with his dog. Pat that baby.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
You hear an Auburn fan says he'd like to apologize. I was correct. Oh, I already knew I was correct, but no need to apologize there. Auburn doomed forever. You've been in our chat for longer than since last week, so it's all good. It's all good. No reason to apologize, but I knew I was right. It's rare that I'm wrong, bro. Let's just be real.
Hey, I tell you what. Don't let us find a running game. It's over. It's over.
Look, I'm not gonna do. We don't even need to. We don't have to do a bunch of OU talking tonight, and I'm definitely not gonna get into the doom and gloom. It's not happening. I think that Oklahoma is just fine with the quarterback they got coming in. He's been getting along with the rest of this program. And why would it be that everybody else on the offense is really good except for our backup quarterback that they all still love? So I'm not doing all that shit today. Not gonna do it. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the end. All I know is
hey, let me bring up this. How about Sam Pittman getting skull drugged by Notre Dame today?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, Notre Dame took belt to ass.
And everybody was ready to write off Notre Dame for losing their first 2 games against 2 top 10 level teams, 2 ranked teams, but I mean, damn, when you turn the kid loose, when you let Jeremiah Love get loose, they're gonna whip your ass. If they get running the football on you, you're in deep shit. And let's just be real, Arkansas don't have a run defense. They don't have a run defense. All they got is Taylon Green to go out there and play hero ball. That's all they got. So, it's time for them to get rid of Sam Pittman. I don't know why they've been waiting. I don't know why they waited after last year. You know what I mean? When you lose to Okie Light, and that's the last win Okie Light's had in a fucking calendar year. It should have told you that was the end of the road for him last year. whatever's going on. They don't want to pay a buyout to a coach that ain't coaching anymore. Pay the man. Get him out. Get him out. You know, and you'd be better off if you just let Bobby P take over now. You know, I think you'd just be better off if you're Arkansas to let Bobby P go ahead and take it over. That's just how I feel about it. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I totally agree.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Well,
I mean, because I don't know how true this is, but I don't know if this is Twitter talk or what. But I've been hearing scuttlebutt that Bobby Petrino was already calling for interns to come help him coach. Now, how true that is, I don't know. That could be Twitter nonsense. But,
well, I think they're gonna have to bring him in. I don't know if they end up firing him before the end of the year, but I don't know how you can keep him now. I mean, I was watching the Woo Pig podcast last night. Shout out to Woo Pig podcast, and they were not glazing nothing for Arkansas after losing to Memphis last week. They weren't having it. They said, nope, he got to go, and we should not be buying tickets if he's still on the sideline next year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they weren't. I mean, there was plenty of other shit they were saying, but it was a little while. I'm not gonna, you know what I mean. I'm just gonna let them. Shout out to them. They're not wrong. It's something that they really should have done. Yeah, it just goes final. BYU wins 24-21 over Colorado after going down 14-0 in that game.
Wow.
Yeah. 14-0 in the game.
Jason Bishop.
Go ahead.
Did y'all watch the Arkansas game today?
Yeah, I was watching
the Notre Dame. Did it look like to y'all that they was just giving up? I mean, no fire, no piss and vinegar, no nothing.
Yeah, and you know, what was funny to me was after the first half, whenever they talked to the sideline reporter, and she was talking about how upset Pittman was, and that, you know, that said that it was a really emotional in the locker room, and they came out and looked pretty good on that opening drive, and, you know, shut it down really quick. And it's like, and shout out to the announcer. I don't remember who it was for sure, but he was like, that's cool and all, but where's your emotion before the game starts? You know, before you get down 42-13, you get emotions running high in the locker room. Bullshit. Figure that one out. You know, and I gotta agree with it. I think that, look, man, I'm a fan of Pittman as far as offensive line coaches go, and I know that he's got a lot of love around the SEC for being the kind of man that he is and all that stuff. I'm not hating on him, but he ain't it as a head coach, and they haven't figured that shit out by now. Come on, look, he's here. We are,
and call your team trash, because that's what they are, trash.
Trash is what you are, big boy.
Must be Penn State.
Must be Penn State. Trash, dog. Y'all suck. Trash. That's all I got for you. That's all I got for you. We ain't got nothing else to even say to you, man. Nothing else to even say to you. You gotta be better, man. Trash.
Yeah.
Guys, dumb it down for me, because I'm sitting in the back of the class. That call last night that everybody is raving about in that Florida State game. What was that over? I'm trying to pick up on it. They played Virginia last night, and something about a uncalled touchdown or something in overtime or something. Did y'all see that last night?
Yeah, I did see it.
Go ahead.
I thought with the, but no, that just they missed the opportunity. That's all that was. Is that belly aching type stuff again? So
Okay. I was just trying to make sense of it, guys. Because I'm sitting here on the outside looking in, and I said, okay, why all the hubbub?
well, it's just like our people before the game. Well, you know what I'm saying. It's just you got to be able to take care of your business when you're in between the white lines. Period, point blank.
Mm-hmm. And Jason, to piggyback off of what you said at the first of the show before I come on, I hate to say this, but I'm not impressed with Georgia this year. Nothing has jumped out off the charts at me about them,
What's to be done?
other than
They won
there's
at
nothing that
Tennessee.
makes.
They won at Tennessee, and this is a Tennessee team that all of us were kind of wondering whether or not they were that good after the way that, they allowed Georgia to come in there and do that. But Georgia's secondary is not very good, and their front seven isn't as good as what you expect it to be either. Because guess what? Alabama ran the football fine on them.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama ran the football fine on them. And shout out to Ty Simpson. There are a lot of people been saying that they did not trust Ty Simpson whatsoever, that he's going to be the reason that Alabama falls apart. Look, he wasn't the problem in the Florida State loss, and he damn sure was not a problem today.
No,
Because the dude was hitting shots. Look, if it's me, I think part of, and I was giving Brinsky a hard time a minute ago on their show that they were doing. But what I got to say about Ryan Williams is take his ass out of the slot, because he ain't a over the middle type of dude. He drops footballs way too damn much. But part of that has got to be he ain't stop. He's not a slot dude. Put him on the edge and let him go do what he does. Down the sideline. You can't run that cat over the middle. You can't run that cat over the middle. And shout out today, facts. Give your love to Jeff Levy. Shout out to Jeff Levy. Shout out to Mississippi State for handling their business in a game very few people thought that they could win. And now that's two games that very few people gave them a chance to win. They beat Arizona State, and they turn around and beat Tennessee. Ooh, buddy. Levy's doing a great job, man. He's doing a great job.
yeah, he is.
Their defense is, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to build that defense there. But I tell you what, he started where he had to start because of who he is, and having Art Briles there is not. Don't discount how big a thing that is for him to have Art Briles around all the time. Whether he's whatever you call him, all that kind of stuff. There, no. Tennessee, how can Tennessee be in the top four, bro? How can Tennessee be in the top four?
I tell you what, I was worried about Tennessee.
Tennessee did well.
And after seeing Mississippi State and Georgia, that game is looking awful. My meter is tilting on that game, because I that was one of my losses, was Tennessee, but it ain't looking like that now.
Yeah, they barely won in overtime.
For real, and the bottom line is that you can't afford to walk into anybody's stadium and think that you got anything made, because the SEC is no joke on the road. No matter where you are, no matter who you are and who you think you're going up against. We saw last year that Vanderbilt held off a really good Alabama team. Alabama comes to Oklahoma a few weeks later. We beat their ass there too. You got to know that you go on the road in this league, and you better be playing your A game. You better pull an Alabama today, because Alabama went out there and they owned the game from the start. There was plenty of opportunities for Georgia to get back in it, and they kept not getting it done at the times that they needed to get something done. You make a big stop there, start of the fourth quarter, and you've got the ball, twice around the 50-yard line, and they get no points out of it. None.
Yeah, and that drop touchdown pass, man, that you don't drop passes like that.
Yeah.
Man.
Yep. You can definitely win any game. You can definitely win any game, but don't think you can't lose them too.
That's right.
It's so important to go 1-0 each and every week when you're in the SEC.
Yep.
Yeah.
He said, I swear by autocorrect landmine. Every week is a landmine. It is. And that's why, look, you know what, for the people that, I'm not going to spend a bunch of time, like I said, on Oklahoma right now, because this is their off week. But I'm going to tell you this This is why it was so important that you get a guy like Michael Hawkins to come back.
Yeah.
This is why it was important. And this program, my program, has been saying this since long before the season started, that if Oklahoma's going to get everywhere that everybody wants them to be, that they will need Michael Hawkins, whether it's for 2 series, 2 games, or for 2 months, they were going to need Michael Hawkins. And damn for sure, they need Michael Hawkins.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bama's in a great spot right now. They're in a great spot. Now, don't get me wrong. They can't afford to look up either. Right now, they got to keep their nose down because guess what?
Yeah.
Diego coming to town next week.
Yeah.
And he's red hot.
The Flying Pavias are coming in. And they ain't scared.
And he's riding a hot hand, too.
He damn sure is. That kid can ball.
He can.
Yeah, not really.
So,
not really, I don't. I think that here's what I really think about the running game. And again, we're not going to make this an OU show. Not going to do it. But here's what I'll tell you. Hawkins is just as good doing the things that we've seen Mateer do. You know, he can make all the throws. He can tuck it and run. He's even faster, you know, and I think that he can do all that stuff. What you have to do if you're Michael Hawkins, though, and what you have to do, no, forget Michael Hawkins. What you have to do if you're Ben Arbuckle is make a game plan that works for this football team, and inside zone runs isn't it. Running into the teeth of the defense, into the best part of your defenses is not the way to go. It's not going to be the way to go against Texas. It's not going to be the way to go against even South Carolina, and I don't think their defense is very good. But if you are running into the middle of the damn pile, then you're not helping your offense guys, your running game get going. You're not.
I would like to see for how since we're going to stay on this just minute, I would like to see Buckle, which I'm almost certain he will, devise a game plan for Hawk that, you know, because you got 2 different characters, Mateer and Hawk. Just devise a game plan for Hawk.
Yeah, you have to. You have
to. Yeah, definitely. The standard is the standard. Nothing changes.
No, and here's the thing: the reason why you shouldn't worry if you're an Oklahoma fan is nothing happened to the defense, folks.
No,
nothing happened to the defense. And as good as John Mateer has played all year, the defense is the reason that this Oklahoma team is riding 4-0. Make no mistake. The reason that they're 4-0 is because the defense is eating. End of story.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But let's get to some of these other games. We're not making it an Oklahoma show. We're not.
No.
LSU goes on the road to Ole Miss. Ole Miss is now 5-0, and you've got a guy that started off the year as a backup. Chambliss comes in 23 of 39, 314 yards, a touchdown, and they hold serve and win 24-19 over an offense that is, I mean, this Ole Miss defense. Mark has been talking about it since before the season. The Ole Miss defense is dog water. And they scored 19 points against them.
Mm-hmm.
They might be leaking oil in Baton Rouge, folks. They might be leaking oil in Baton Rouge.
You might be right.
I'm thinking, I said this to myself, mind you, that LSU coming to town, and the way their offense is performing, can you see this defense key off on them? I mean, because I was not impressed with Nussmeier or that whole offensive shit show that they threw on the field today down at Ole Miss.
Again, yeah, they're not playing. It's not like they were playing Oklahoma today.
Exactly.
It's not like they were playing Oklahoma. It's not like they were playing Alabama. Alabama's had a good defense. It's not like they were playing against Florida, who's got a very good defense, just not a very good offense.
Right.
They
And
went out there and gagged it away and put 19 points up with that receiver room, with that quarterback. And I know he's been banged up a little bit or whatever. If he's that hurt, why the fuck are you not playing Van Buren?
exactly.
Because that kid went at Mississippi State last year. I thought it was wild that they let him get out of town.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know? And he, what? You're not going to even bother playing him? They're in trouble. I mean, look, LSU, we got to look at this schedule because I'm going to tell you, LSU, it's got some games ahead of them. They've got some games ahead of them before we get to the last game of the damn year. They still got to deal with Alabama. They still got to deal with let's see. Let me get this schedule. That ain't it.
There could very, very well be 2 or 3 losses.
Yeah,
At least 2
easily.
losses.
Yeah,
2
you
more
gotta be
losses.
better, bro. There's no two ways around it.
I mean, there's a chance when they roll into town against us, they could have three L's in their column when they come to Norman.
Well, and that would be exactly it. Look, let's just be real about it. That would mean that you're doing exactly what you've been doing under Brian Kelly.
Yep.
Exactly what you've been doing against Brian under Brian. And so, it is what it is, but damn it, why is it not just showing me this damn schedule? Come on, bro. All right, here we go. Come on, man. Let's see. Okay. Let me throw it up on the screen.
While you're doing that, there is one game I wished I would have watched earlier today. That was Wake Forest and Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia Tech got away with one in that one, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I mean, shit. So let's look at let me look at this real quick. Okay. Yeah, so the team stuff, as you can see, is it pulling up to the right spot? Okay, yeah. So if you look at LSU, I mean, they just lost that one. They got a week off. Then they got South Carolina. They're at home with that one. But, I mean, that could be, well, I don't know. South Carolina's trash. But then they're at Vandy after that. Then they have A&M at home. They lost to A&M last year. Then they're off. Then they're on the road at Bama, Arkansas at home, Western Kentucky before they get to us. Yeah, absolutely. They could have another couple of losses. They're going to have at least 2. They're going to have at least 2. I figured they lose to Vandy. And probably lose to Bama. They're on the road at Bama. Bama whooped their ass. Yeah, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
So, who's in here talking smack now?
Chicken.
Chicken.
He's trying to add his own little roux to the gumbo. It's all good.
I expect more of a fight from LSU. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, you were talking about how
Yeah, I thought so.
the Ole Miss defense was dog water. The Ole Miss defense was dog water, man. Come on, bro. And
For them to be dog water, they put something on you.
well, that's fine. That's all well and good, bro. Except for at some point, you're gonna have to figure it out.
Yep.
And they did. They got it figured out. Oh.
What's Ole Miss's schedule coming up, Jason?
Let me go
Oh, you
back
already took
because it wasn't. No,
I'm
well,
sorry.
it's been giving me a hard time. So let me go back.
We won't worry about it.
The Ole Miss
We'll
schedule
catch up.
coming up. The Ole Miss schedule, they've got Washington State, which is really bad. Then they're at Georgia, at Oklahoma, South Carolina, the Citadel, and then Florida at home with a week off before the Egg Bowl. So at Washington State at home, then at Georgia, at Oklahoma. I mean, when it gets to the OU game, you figure, you expect, I don't know, they beat Georgia at home last year. Not having a defense, I don't think it's going to be helpful for them. I don't think it was Gunnar Stockton's fault tonight at all whatsoever.
No.
I think not having a defense, but you can expect it when they get to town for the Oklahoma game, you have to expect that game is going to be for a shot at the playoffs for them and probably for OU as well.
Yeah.
If you want to stay in the playoff race, you better stay in it. You're going to have to win that game. So they got to come to the Palace, but
what I was going to say is that's why it's so important to hold serve when you got your home games. You got that whole serve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Expected more of a fight from LSU. I mean, you would have. But shout out to Wayne. Good to see you, man. A lot of SEC teams on bye next week. I'll go ahead and drop the. I'm gonna drop this link, and we can have a call in one at a time. We'll get a call in going. Oops. Damn it. I think I may have just messed up. Oh no, I didn't. Here we go.
Well, I tell you what, I don't care what anybody says. It's going to come a point. Auburn, they're fixing to y'all. You're going to see Jackson because he's already in his own head like he was at OU, and you're probably going to start seeing the turnovers coming the next coming weeks. I don't think he can keep this up with 0 turnovers.
Facts. But I'll tell you what, hey, that defense, they put on a show, and they shouldn't have. I don't know what Hugh Freeze was thinking. He just, man, he pissed away that game.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. We got 60 plus. In fact, we got 60 plus people in here, and we got 18 likes. We're going to a commercial.
Freeloaders.
Hey, Jason Watkins here with Hall of Fame College Football. And if you are ready to back your favorite team, the Sooners, and fade that Texas hype train every Saturday this fall, there's only one place to do it, MyBookie. Right now, you can double your first deposit up to $1,000 when you sign up at hofmedia.us/mybookie1000. That's hofmedia.us/mybookie1000. Yep, 100% deposit bonus, and it takes less than 5 minutes to get started. Whether you're betting college football, rolling the dice in the online casino, or dropping a 10-leg parlay on SEC Chaos, MyBookie has everything you need. Bet anytime, anywhere, on the go, at the tailgate, or yelling at the refs from your couch. Just don't talk trash. Put your money where your mouth is. Hit that link, hofmedia.us/mybookie1000, and get your deposit bonus today. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie and Hall of Fame College Football. Are you tired of your game day gear looking like it's stuck in the offseason? Well, step up your fandom with Hall of Fame College Football's official Fanatics partner store. Whether you're a diehard Oklahoma Sooners fan like myself, bleeding Crimson and Cream, or you rep another one of the SEC's heavy hitters, Fanatics has you covered. Shop thousands of officially licensed hats, jerseys, sideline polos, and exclusive championship merch from the entire Power 4 and Group of 6 too, all shipped directly to your doorstep and fast. You want to gear up like your favorite coaches and players? Are you looking for that perfect tailgate tee or a statement piece for your man cave? Fanatics is your one-stop shop for authentic college football gear from everybody that plays the game. So do yourself and your team a favor. Click our link in the description or simply log on to hofmedia.us/fanatics. That's hofmedia.us/fanatics. And you can shop everything that you want for the best prices of the day right on our Fanatics partner page. I just said we ain't coming back until we hit 50. And I'm kind of serious about that shit too. Y'all need to hit the damn like button. Quit messing around and hit the damn like button. It's some bullshit, and I ain't having it. Hit the like button.
Well, y'all, wow.
Come on, man. That ain't right. You know it ain't right. All right. Hit the damn like button. Chasing the bass. What up, big dog? Hey, and check it out. Big Cuz in the house. What up, Mike?
Big
Man, what's going on? Outside the Holly job before I turn in, I'm down at my mother-in-law's, man, down in Philadelphia, Mississippi, bro. So
Okay, okay. Down in
down
the
there
city.
just chilling, man. I watched just about every game that came on today, and I just jumped on to say this, man. The parity in the SEC is real, guys.
Mhm.
There's no easy wins. You know, you got Arkansas struggling, and maybe Kentucky a little bit, but outside of those two, that's not an easy win. You got to put your big boy draws on every day. You know, somebody was asking me the other day about Vanderbilt, like, do you think they can hold up? I said, yeah. You think about it. 10 years ago, Vanderbilt wasn't going to do anything close to outside the rules to getting players. Now they don't have to. It's on top of the table, and they got money, and they're in Nashville, one of the growingest cities in the whole United States of America. So you know, man, the SEC is a tough place to play. I don't care, dude. I don't care who you are. I mean, you look at when they turned the money over at Mississippi State, and Lev got 60 new players. You see the difference in that ball club. You see the difference in Vanderbilt's ball club. So there's no easy outs. There's no easy outs. And you got to stack players on top of players. Don't you're gonna be in the back seat from here on out. You know. So
Yeah.
man, I just want to jump on, man.
Well, what about
Holler at you guys for a minute.
I want to get your thought about tonight's game. The Georgia not holding serve at home, and letting Alabama look. Alabama, everybody was ready to write their asses off coming into
Well,
after
look,
that Florida State game.
you know, I talked about Alabama being the best team in the country before the season started, and I also talked about Georgia is losing their hope. They lost their top three, the best three recruits in the 2026 class. They lost them, so they're losing. I mean, this parity is all over. They lost the Deuce Geralds to LSU. They
Yep.
lost Tyler Atkinson to Texas, and they lost somebody else. So 33 straight wins between the hedges got broke today. So I'm telling you
It
guys,
wasn't even really. I mean, they made it a
yeah.
game. They made it a game, but Alabama controlled this football game from the start.
Well, Alabama is Georgia kryptonite. Y'all know that. It's been like that
Oh
for a while. So that's the thing that is very crazy about college football. Where it's just like Lane Kiffin made a statement about that OU. They didn't have anything in common. No, he does not want to play OU for 4 years.
Well, yeah, we
That's
don't
all
have
that is.
anything in common. There's a big difference between
Yeah,
Oklahoma and Ole Miss. Let's just be real.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different things, guys, um, that I see that's coming up, and I'm gonna leave you this before I go. I heard a lot of talk about you know Micah Hawkins and stuff like that, but I'm gonna be honest with you. In my opinion, I think the pressure's on being Arbuckle more than it is Micah Hawkins because he's the coordinator. He got to find the right tool for that kid to be successful. So I don't really think the pressure's on Mike. I think Mike has all the tools. I think Arbuckle has to find the things that he do best and put them in a package to
Mhm.
make it work for these next maybe 2 games that they have to use him with. But like you said before, you still have the defense. You still got one of the top defenses in the country. So that's not going to change. And if you go back to the Tennessee game when he was real comfortable in that Tennessee game, he almost came back and won that game for us.
Yep.
Because he had a few receivers that were healthy at that point in time. You, he's never had that. He's never had. it's a possibility you get Giovanni Gibson back.
Yeah, he's back
So
practicing.
right. So he got a lot of things that he could be doing, man. I think that's going to help him. He's got a veteran offensive line now instead of a line that's trying to figure it out. We know we got kids hurt or whatever the situation is, but those guys know what the hell they're doing. I think we got to figure the run game out. I think we run off tackle. I mean, just we might run a zone read in the middle just to keep them honest, but I think we run off tackle. You know,
Yeah.
And they start stacking that way. We run the zone read and we hit them up the middle every now and then. But like I said, I think the most of this is going to be on Arbuckle to make sure he's ready to go.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair thing to say. It's look, you have a warm up game for Michael Hawkins, and playing that game next week with Kent State. That's a good warm up game for him, but you need to get him ramped up and ready to go because his talent is way good enough to lead this football team when you have a defense like what they have at Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
And you have the weapons that you have at Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
You do. I mean, that's like I said, man. I just wanted to chime in for a minute, man. I hadn't been on in a while. I've been super busy with some stuff, man. But
Yeah,
just
we
want
got
to
to
hear
get
y'all
that.
guys.
I know we got our show coming up that we're working on, so it's something that we
Good
need to.
seeing you, Coach Dent.
Man, good to see you, man.
It's
I will
something
talk
we
to
need to.
y'all later, man. Y'all have a good one.
Okay.
You too.
Soon.
Hi,
Peace.
man.
Welcome into the show from the Bama Standard, Mr. Jonathan Lewis. What's up, my guy?
What's going on? Yeah, like that. I love that green screen. Green beans.
Green Beans is in there. Oh, Johnny Green Beans is in the house tonight.
No, sorry, I don't have my background uploaded separately. So, man, it's great to be an Alabama fan. Isn't that right, Mike?
Yeah.
No, it seems like it's great to be an Oklahoma and an Alabama fan at this point, which is always good because it's always a good weekend when you see Auburn lose, Alabama win. When you see, well, if Tennessee would have lost, it would have been just
Tennessee did lose, did they?
The Trout.
no, they didn't.
Oh,
Miss,
shit.
miss, no, they ended up.
Damn it. I thought they had it right before the. Oh, Lord.
No, so it would have been the icing on the cake.
They damn sure did try to.
But no, it's been a great day. College football it summed up everything I wanted to happen, man. Oregon beat Penn State. I thought Drew Otler was completely overrated. I know a lot of people are going to make that argument, but not a fan of his. I thought the whole Illinois thing was blown out of proportion. Today was an awesome day to be a college football fan in general, especially in the SEC when you considered everything that happened today. Ole Miss beat LSU. With a Division II national champion at quarterback last year into this year now. So I believe it was last year he won it. So, yeah, no, a great time to be alive and watching college football.
No doubt. No doubt about it.
Man,
And huge day, all around. And we were talking about LSU. For all this talk about, I mean, and I'll say I'm one of them that keeps expecting their offense to come around, but let's not lie about these things. That Mississippi Ole Miss defense has been not good all year, and you only put up 19.
Dog, I'm going to say it on this channel because I say it on all of them. Nussmeier is not as good as what everybody puts him out to be. I don't know how many times I need to say this, but every game, all you hear is he's supposed to do this, and at the end of that game, it's usually, well, he played average or below average. Well, how many times do you have to do that before you realize the guy may be just not as good as what you think he is?
Look, I mean, you got to call a spade in this instance. I mean, he hasn't put up a big numbers except for against these really trash FCS type programs or,
Even then, it wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, listen, but let's get into Bama's talk. Look,
yeah,
I think that when you look at who and the expectation here, I mean, look, obviously there's no doubt that Georgia has a problem with beating Alabama no matter what.
Yeah.
But when you got a 33-game home winning streak and really you never were in control of it. You had your opportunities to get completely back in it, take the lead, twice at the start of the fourth quarter. You're on the 50-yard line, and you don't go down there and get it done. You don't go down there and get it done.
Absolutely not. Okay, I'm going to take this away and just make it the staple of this game, and this is what this game was about. This game was simply Alabama owning who they were, and they were going to live by it, because we saw what happened when Georgia played Tennessee last week, right? So Georgia played the game. It basically played into Georgia's favor. Alabama said, we know we're not great against the rush, and that's okay. We're not going to load the box to compensate that. What we're still going to do is play a two deep safety or with help over the top, except twice, right? And one time was burned for a touchdown, cover 0, blitzing on like a second one. But the only reason, to be fair, that happened, Gunnar Stockton checked out of that play and then hot route of the receiver, right? Because he knew his receiver on the DB had no help over the top. So that was just a really good call from Gunnar Stockton's standpoint. Other than that, I felt like people are going to sit there and go, well, I don't understand how this happened. Alabama didn't score any points in the second half. The rushing for Georgia was great, but they couldn't throw well, of course they couldn't throw the ball, because Alabama was rushing 3 or 4, dropping everybody else and daring you to run the ball and saying, we'll just play a bend, don't break defense. Plain and simple, you're going to score some points, but we're not going to let you. We believe more in Ty Simpson throwing the ball than Gunnar Stockton. And that's what it came down to.
That's fair. Mm-hmm. That's fair. And shout out to Ty Simpson. He had a great game. And I know a lot of people have been down on Ty from the start of this season. They haven't given him any love whatsoever. He wasn't the reason that they lost the Florida State game by any stretch. I said that at the start of this show. You can say that if you want to, but he wasn't the problem.
No,
it was not the problem.
It was a lack of effort, period, across the board. Now, not from Ty Simpson. You know what I mean? So you can own it like Bray Hubbard did. He went public with it and said, yeah, we didn't do enough, right? We have to all do this. And now he looks like damn near like a first-round safety, right? They can go in the NFL because he picked up everything, right? So he took it the right way, took the criticism the right way from the coaching staff and at the players-only meeting, all that great stuff. But at the end of the day, man, like the fact that Alabama goes into Georgia, right, with the expectations, being the underdog, and I know people are going to say, well, it's still Alabama. Nick Saban's not there anymore. Right. So we know that staff is not there anymore. 33 recruits left. Right. This is a different era of Alabama football. And I think us Alabama fans and Mike, and I'm sure even you, Jason, everybody is starting to understand that the 350-pound nose tackle or the 255 to 265-pound linebackers that Alabama used to put on the field at defense, they're gone. You're going to see a 4-2-5. You're going to see 5 to 6 defensive backs. And that's how we're just going to play you. We're going to play you by not out-rushing you anymore. We don't care. If we average 3 yards a rush, that's fine. Because over the course of the game, it's making you stay disciplined, and it's letting Ty Simpson do what he does best. And that's use his brain, checking out, creating hot routes, making protection adjustments, all that stuff to use his arm to win the game.
Yeah, listen.
I thought he quarterbacked a hell of a game.
Oh yeah,
he went through his check downs. He looked sharp and crisp, poised.
He did, and it didn't seem like he was. Yeah, his poise was the word that I was looking for, Legend, too, because he wasn't getting rattled whenever they did get pressure on him. And somebody said it in the chat too. The offensive line looked pretty good. They looked good running the football too. And this is what makes you wonder about Georgia right now. Is that everything that you expect a Georgia football team to be, if they're going to compete for everything, is front seven's going to be loaded up and you're not running the football on them. And the secondary, you're not going to be able to just hit passes like that. And we haven't seen that yet. Tennessee did the same thing whenever they came to town a couple of weeks ago. And I mean, Alabama was able to run the football plenty enough to keep it balanced. I mean, I think it was 39-38 as far as pass and run mixture. So I mean, look, you're gonna have to find a way to stop some people if you're Georgia. Or I don't want to hear about how they're the best team in the SEC until they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not.
Yeah, it's it's crazy because people, you know what I mean, they talk about the nuances of stats with Ty Simpson and all that stuff. I'm like, you know what really separates Ty and what shows why he's basically his maturity, right? He's been at Alabama 3 years. Really, technically, this is his fourth by the end of the season.
Yeah.
Is look at him and then look at Jackson Arnold. What I'm saying is the way they play the ball game. When every time Georgia got pressure on the edges, he simply stepped into the pocket, kept scanning the field, made his throws, right? And because people were like, "We has all day to throw the ball." I'm like, he's creating that extra second to second half because he knows if he just steps up in the pocket, it's going to be there, right? And it felt like against Florida State, he didn't trust that. It's his first game. He didn't trust the offensive line because people were like, the offensive line gets so much better. I'm like, yeah, they probably played a little bit better, but really Ty Simpson helped them out a lot by simply not stepping backwards, which was what Jackson Arnold did against Oklahoma, and he stepped into the pocket, not outside the pocket.
Right, and it's the same thing that Jackson Arnold did today against A&M.
No
He's
doubt.
back there patting the baby instead of doing his job and stepping up and making throws. You know, Ty Simpson, you can't trash Ty Simpson at this point. There's no way to do it.
No.
There's no way to do it. If you are, you ain't paying attention to football whatsoever, and you just looking at, you know, oh well, they ain't that good. They lost to Florida State. Yeah, they did. They lost to Florida State. They lost to Florida State, just like what you said, on effort, on a lack of effort for whatever reason. But and I said it a few times this week. I was telling Coach Smook earlier in the week, what I need to see is Alabama show the effort that they showed in the next 3 games against somebody with a pulse. They went in and did exactly that. Exactly that. And so they were hitting. They weren't afraid to play physical football as far as running the football up the middle. Look,
It's not who they are.
No.
Not anymore.
Nope. Look, you've got to be really good all the way around if you're going to beat a Georgia team, because they're going to find whatever it is that you're weak at and they're going to exploit it. But today we saw that Alabama doesn't have a ton of weaknesses. They may not be as good at certain things as they are at others, but there's not a ton of real weaknesses on this Bama team. There really isn't.
No, and I would go ahead. Sorry, Mike.
It seems like for whatever weaknesses that Alabama may have, their strengths overpower their weaknesses. I think because there's many ways that Bama can hurt you. Yeah, you know.
I like that running back, that young running back.
Oh, God, he is.
Riley?
Yes.
Yeah.
He runs hard, bro. He runs hard up the middle. He's not afraid for contact. In fact, it feels like he gets better when you start hitting him.
And to be fair, because I have criticized Alabama's run game all season, right? So, and to be fair, let's put something out there. They've played 3 really good run defenses. Wisconsin right now is statistically number 1 in the nation against the run. And I get it, it's Wisconsin,
right,
but they still have a great run defense. They're still a Big Ten defense at the end of the day, right? It's like playing Iowa. Iowa's not going to put 30 points up on you, but they're going to have a defense, right? So, and then you look at Florida State. They have a pretty good damn run defense. And then obviously Georgia knows what they are. Georgia can run the ball and stop the run. That's it.
Mm-hmm. They didn't stop it that well tonight, though. They didn't stop it that well tonight.
We only got 117 yards on them. You know what I mean? It was like 2.9 per carry. So to me, it wasn't impressive, but we did run enough to keep them disciplined. I agree with you on that.
Oh, Zach, I know he coming in here. I know this is a joke that you're saying, man. Hey, I said it earlier this week. The whiny Auburn fans, and you weren't one of them. I'll give you love, Zach. This is my boy Zach from the Blue Bloods.
Okay.
He runs the Blue Bloods program, and they talk about an awesome show, by the way. But I've done a lot of work with him and Kobe on their FBS Fridays and stuff, which we hadn't had an FBS Fridays this year. What's up with that, Zach? Yeah, Auburn. Let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, because it was weird to me that on Thursday you still got the AD at Auburn bitching about officiating in a game that, I mean, look, go watch the Red Dirt guys. Go watch the guys from the Red Dirt show and their players on the team, and you'll hear what their explanation for that was. That play was run into. We were getting into our. We planned that all week, and it was going to be in tempo. We weren't going to be pulling anybody out of the game. There wasn't no fake, we're not going in there and saying that fake substitution or whatever. He was walking to his spot, showed that he was off ball, and that's it. And so you can talk about that, but it's crazy to me that you would still be talking about that on Thursday when you're going to College Station in 2 days. Wild to me. Team is terrible, garbage, disgusting.
I'm just going to leave it at this. If you tell me your QBR for the quarterback, which is Jackson Arnold, is 33.5, which I'm looking at right now, your average completion is only 3.8 yards. You're just above 50%, and you only have 2.2 yards per carry with 1 touchdown on the ground. I'm saying you're playing right into Texas A&M's hand. Texas A&M, they know who they are. Marcel Reed's going to do everything he can to produce something on offense, but it's going to be nothing crazy because he doesn't have much around him as far as that goes. But yeah, at the end of the day, Texas A&M is going to rely on their defense. And they know what they are. Mike Elko does a really good job of taking what he has, like he did at Duke, and winning those games by putting them in the best position, not expecting the team to conform to him, but he conforms to the team.
Yeah, listen, I would agree. I think that if you're looking at what Texas A&M is right now, they've got one of the – nobody wants to really talk about Marcel Reed right now, but Marcel Reed is playing his ass off. Oh. And with KC Concepcion, and you've got – and what's the kid's name that everybody was hoping we were going to get him at OU?
You're talking about Mario Craver?
No, what is his name?
I know you're not talking about Amari Now Black. He came from Alabama, then went to Texas and went there.
No. He's a freshman. He's a freshman guy.
Receiver?
Yes.
Only other guys.
Bussey, Tyler Bussey.
Oh, Tyler Bussey. I got you.
That dude's a good player too. I mean, they're explosive in the places that it counts. And then you start talking about their running game, and they're legit. They're legit as it gets. So I know that everybody wanted to. We were glazing Texas. Everybody's glazing the shit out of Texas coming into the season. Oh. But the best team out of Texas right now is Texas A&M.
I don't think you can even deny that at this point, in my opinion. It would be a hard argument to make, in my opinion. But I think I want to really get Auburn fans' take on this, because you said somebody in here is an Auburn fan, right? That was leaving comment. Zach. So I got a question for you, brother. What is your limit with Hugh Freeze? Because this is Hugh Freeze's 3rd year, I believe. Are you guys going to just kind of give him another year no matter what happens? Or is this one of those look, if we end up going 6-6, if we get there, this guy needs to be out the door. What's the limit in your perspective as far as keeping or seeing Hugh Freeze hit the door?
It's a good question. It makes you wonder because, I said at the end of this, or I was saying it on Wednesday, I was like, when I was even saying it then, and this is before the AD is talking. And if you're still talking about this kind of stuff and you're allowing this, if you're Hugh Freeze and when Tuesday rolls around, you're still allowing anyone to talk about the officials in the game against Oklahoma, then you're screwing up. It should have been a mandate by Hugh to say, shut up about it. We're not talking about it anymore. We're on to Texas A&M. And that would to include your athletic director.
Yes.
I don't want to hear about this. I don't want to talk about this anymore. We lost that game. Anything under 7 wins, he's out. Yeah. Let me ask you this. I'll piggyback off of this. Do they get to 7 wins with Jackson Arnold under center or behind center, I should say?
Okay, so he's saying anything under 7. Man, that's going to be a tough 7 to get to, in my opinion, with the play I've seen so far. I think I will say this. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole game today. I do like Auburn's defense. There are things they do on defense well, but you didn't bring in Hugh Freeze because of his defense, right? So that's where I would kind of start to worry if I'm an Auburn fan. Is you had a chance. You brought, Hugh Freeze brought in Peyton Thorne himself, and he turned out to be a flop. Well, you brought in Jackson Arnold, so this is your second transfer you're bringing in that's supposed to be turning this thing around. It doesn't look like it's really working. You know what I mean? So, where is the line in the sand to where guys, this guy's just bringing people in and not putting anything together? I'm saying the same thing for Billy Napier at this point. There has to be a line in the sand somewhere.
I think it's from what I've seen from JA today. He had, I mean, there was several times that Cam Coleman was open. If he would have just got off his patting the baby and look, I seen Cam and what's that other receiver's name?
Singleton.
Singleton. They had both of them at different times. They was open and Jackson just completely screwed it up. I mean, I agree with you, Jason and Jonathan. It's going to be a hard 7 for them to
really.
And they're going to struggle. They're going to struggle, and they're going to struggle.
Yeah. I mean, well, Auburn's at. Okay, so they just played
That's
A&M.
That's what I was saying, Jonathan. They were saying that if he don't win 7, he's out.
Yeah, they're saying anything.
Well, and they still have. They're still home Georgia, home to Mizzou, at Arkansas, Kentucky at home, at Vandy. Before the Bama game at the end of the year, Mercer in between that. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, which one of those games would you just say for sure they're going to win? At Arkansas, maybe?
Arkansas is garbage.
Yeah, Arkansas can't stop a running nose.
No.
But aside from Arkansas and possibly Kentucky, do you expect them to beat Missouri? No. Do you expect them to beat Vandy? Fuck no.
No, hell no.
I don't expect them to beat Georgia either. They'll have a reason to blow that one too. Now they are at home against Georgia, and some of those games are at home. But I said going into this week that they'd be lucky to win 3 out of their next 6, and I don't know that they win 2 out of the next 5.
Auburn fans are not going to be in a good place. Like this is going to be one of those years to where like something's got to happen. Like, you know what I mean? There's no way you're going to sit here and tolerate this. Mm-hmm. Like, does Glenn Schumann become the next head coach for Auburn?
Do they? Does he? Is he the next one? Would you take that job if you're Glenn Schumann?
No.
I mean,
and I'll be honest with you. And the reason why I say I wouldn't take the job almost at any point, and this has nothing to do with being Auburn, right? As a Bama fan, it's look at how Auburn is held, like how they've treated their coaches. What they did to Brian Harsin was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You basically found a scapegoat to get out of that contract, and you just used it.
And it was a lie too.
Yeah, and it was a lie. Like nothing was even proven.
No, they said he was screwing around on his wife. They tried to mess up his marriage,
bro.
So they could get him fired.
I'm going to be real with you guys real quick. If your head coach, we're going to pretend that Brent Venables is cheating on his wife, but nobody knows about it, but he wins you 6 national championships, are you firing him?
No,
probably not.
What is their personal life?
It only matters if they're sucking right at that moment.
Exactly. Les Miles was eating grass in the middle of the field, but he won a national championship, so everybody laughed it off. The moment he stopped winning and he was still eating the damn grass in the middle of the field, people called him psychotic. Everybody loved Ed Orgeron when he was winning and he won the national championship in 2019. But the moment, but the moment he stopped winning, that Cajun shit wasn't funny anymore.
It's the same thing that I've been saying about sorry ass Beamer. People give Beamer all this credit that he does not deserve, but it's his little bullshit that he pulls when they win is one thing, but when you break your foot on a fucking mayonnaise jar, when you lose, nobody fucking wants to know about it, bro.
By the way, there needs to be more Lane Kiffins. What he did, oh my God, I don't know if you guys saw the tweet he put out. Calling Brian Kelly out straight up. Oh my Lord, I'm so glad to have that's
I've seen that.
Oh, that's another one. Have you seen that? Did you
I've seen it?
I didn't see it.
You didn't see what he did?
What did he do?
Oh.
Google, all you have to do is Google Lane Kiffin tweet Brian Kelly. Like he posted basically right after he beat them.
Yeah.
Like directly after he beat them. It's gold.
Yeah.
Like I want you to read
It's
it.
golden.
Yeah, like I don't want to ruin it for you.
Oh Lord. Brian Kelly, we're looking forward to it. We helped to keep that Magnolia Trophy right here in Baton Rouge, right where it deserves to be, and our guys are excited for the opportunity. And then Brian Kelly can't run the damn ball. Ooh.
Well, no. Did you? Was it the one of the paper where the paper's highlighted?
Yes.
Okay,
And he's an opponent report. The Brian Kelly show.
Yeah, because Brian Kelly said that, basically saying Ole Miss has no chance.
Right.
Yeah, how'd that go for him?
Yeah. Listen, and again, and this is with that, and I'll say it, Ole Miss's defense is dog water, folks. Dog water. I'll ask you this quick question on this one. Are the Beamer to Virginia Tech rumors real? They should be real because I'll tell you why. They should be firing his ass at South Carolina. If you're South Carolina, and you should be pushing him to that job. Look, coach, we're going to go in another direction. Maybe you should do that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you should do that.
Who do you get to take? If Beamer leaves South Carolina, does Hugh Freeze go to South Carolina? No, you know who goes to South Carolina? It would be like the last coach they got from Florida, Steve Spurrier. They get Billy Napier after Napier.
Well, I would tell you that. I would tell you John Summerall. If that would be the best opening for him, rather than going to Kentucky. I know he went to Kentucky. I know he's coached at Kentucky. But Summerall is like the hottest name in the SEC circles right now to become a head coach. If it's me, I either take Arkansas if I'm him, or I take like that job if it pops open, because I think Summerall's the best one of them. But he may end up getting Florida for all we know. You know what I'm saying?
If I'm Arkansas, I'm going into my nearest Walmart, finding the cashier that's working there and going, would you like to be the head coach of the University of Arkansas? Because this shit ain't working no more. By the way, because of the pay increase what Walmart's going to give you.
This is well done right here. This is well done.
Applause, Jonathan.
Oh, no. Well done. Let's see.
Well played, Jonathan. Well played.
If you take your top lip and connect it to your bottom lip, you will shut the fuck up.
It's only right, Beamer coach at Virginia Tech. Look, it would definitely be a move up for them. They're not going to get better, though. The thing about Virginia Tech is you expect that. If you're with all the support that South Carolina gives this football program, I'm out of excuses for the Cat if I'm them.
You know, I'll be honest with you though. To be fair, I'm not a Shane Beamer, I'm not a Beamer fan. Let's be real about something. But I will say this: I said I've been beating his drum from before the season even started. I said you lost in Amore, you lost too much on the defense, you lost your best running back in Rocket Sanders. Lenora Sellers is not an elite quarterback. I'm sorry. It's hard to swallow because here's one thing I hate about YouTubers and podcasters and even talking heads. They want to pretend like everybody just improves. Everybody is good. You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, he must have improved.
They acted like he was the reason they were winning last year, and it wasn't that. They lost 9 guys off of that defense. 9.
It's just like I don't know if you caught what I said on Brensky's show. When Florida lost to LSU, I said, is it possible that both these teams just aren't good? Why does one have to be good to beat the other? Why can't just one be shittier than the other shitty team?
Yeah, because if you look at Florida, look, as much as I think DJ Lagway should be a very good player, and he will be a very good player, the facts are he hasn't had time to develop whatsoever. The guy showed up at Florida in a damn boot. He didn't spend the entire offseason. He was in a boot. He had to have that hernia surgery, come to find out. You know, he was in a damn boot a week before their first game. He got 1 week of fall camp in, and then it was game prep, and that was it. And you expected him to come in and be the savior just because he won a couple of games against teams that turned out they weren't that damn good down the stretch of the year. last year.
Here's
I mean,
what I know.
Ole Miss handed them that fucking football game. Jackson Dart threw 3 interceptions in succession. They got it right back, and he threw it right back to them 3 times.
Yeah.
Hey, can I ask you two a question? What's going to be I'd say about 3/4 of the way into the season? What's going to happen to Dabo?
Nothing. They owe him $60 million, bro.
It's too big of a contract. The Dabo's not going to go anywhere, I don't believe.
He was in there freaking gaslighting the shit out of everybody a week ago before losing a 3rd game because he could.
If it was contract year, Dabo's not saying those things.
No.
There's no way he's making those
He was
remarks.
like, hey, I got 2 national championships, and I'm 50 years old. Go ahead, fire me.
My biggest thing is
gaslighting the shit out of everybody.
Bro, if I'm DJ Lagway, I'm sitting my ass on the bench, I'm redshirting, and I'm transferring. Because the whole situation has been handled, in my opinion, incorrectly at Florida. There's no way you're going to tell me for 2 straight years your quarterback has had consistent issues for 2 straight years. Why don't you just set the dude, let him get completely healed, figure out what's going on with this? Because it would not surprise me if Lagway ends up in the transfer portal. I'm not just saying it to say it. I really do mean it. Like Billy Napier, we don't know what's going to happen with Billy Napier at this point because that team looks like a hot mess. That's all there is to it. They don't look good. And I'm going to take one shot at Lincoln Riley since I'm on an Oklahoma show. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. That's all I'm going to say. It was Illinois, right?
It was Illinois. Coming off a 50-point loss.
Lost to Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you to Illinois. Thank you. Brett Bielema, I believe, still their head coach.
Brett Bielema.
Oh, yeah, doing what you do because, dude.
All your team trash. Because that's what they are. Trash.
Trash at USC, bro.
Same to you, Charles. Yeah, man. I had to take at least one shot to the guy because I think what he did was slimy at the end of the day. I'm still going to bring it up even though it's been years.
Oh, yeah, he's slimy. And look, he doesn't do anything, but this is what I'm going to say. And Pit Snipe, no shade to you, but there's some coaches that we should talk about when we're talking about the guys that are the same all the time. Brian Kelly, Lincoln Riley, and it's going to show right now. I mean, look at what you saw last week too. Our boy at Nebraska whining and bitching about having good teams on the non-con schedule. He gets an L from Michigan, who went on the road, wasn't afraid to go on the road to play Oklahoma. They played Texas at home last year. They, coming off of theirs. The way that you get better is to play better football teams. And these guys are running from competition, and it's not helping them. It's always excuses.
You're 100% correct. And then you could be like James Franklin, who's been at Penn State since 2014.
And all your team trash. Because that's what they are. Trash.
Exactly. 1-13 against Ohio State and Michigan, who lost to Oregon tonight. And the dude is just never going to win it for you. Sorry.
No, he's not. And come on, man. If you're James Franklin right now, what excuse you got left? What excuse you got left if you're Franklin?
0. There are no excuses.
Because you're 1-11 against, or 1-10, 1-11 against Ohio State. It's going to get one game worse later in the year. And, you've beaten Michigan one time or twice in the entirety of the time he's been there. No, they beat him last year.
Are you sure? Because I thought they were 1-13.
Yeah, something like that.
I could be wrong.
Anyway, they've got a total. I want to say they had a total of like 3 wins against them, Michigan State, and Michigan. Michigan State, Ohio State, in like the entirety of his time there. That was going into last season or whatever. But you got to, and then you lose to Oregon in the conference championship game because you got lucky that Ohio State lost a game at Oregon. And then turn around and lost that damn Michigan game. But that's just that's their white whale right now. But Ohio State goes on the road and handles their business today. But out of the rest of them, I'm waiting to see this Big Ten that we expect to see so good. They're so awesome in the Big Ten. Nah, if if you're Lincoln Riley and you can't go and beat up and find a way to get a win on a team that lost by 50 last week, come on, bro.
Now I'll tell you the only thing that really pissed me off in that Penn State Oregon game is that no call targeting. That really pissed me off, because that was, if there ever was a textbook targeting call, that right there was it, and they didn't and they non-called it. That really,
yeah. There's a couple. The Pitt player versus West Virginia last week, where he literally flopped like a fish in the air, head first.
Mm.
I was like, dear God, like that's about as bad as it can get. And there was another thing I wanted to.
If you look at the Oregon game today, guys, they tried to hand you that football game on a silver platter. You're at home and you don't step on their neck.
So are we talking about everything? There's another conversation I want to ask you guys about, or another thing to talk about.
Talk about whatever.
Go ahead.
Where's the line in the sand for Deion Sanders?
Ooh.
Well, I mean,
I'm not saying to fire him right now. I'm not saying that. But what I'm getting at is they look bad.
They do look bad. They don't have a quarterback at all. Now, Juju may be that guy, but they're obviously at this point. If you're Coach Prime, I think you have to go ahead and find out. Don't you? I mean, I think you need to find out at this point, because it's clear that Keaton Salter ain't the dude, and it's clear that this third stringer that you've been playing the last few weeks here and there, he ain't the guy either. I would say, I don't know that there's a line in the sand with Coach Prime yet, because the truth of it is that they took over a program that had 2 wins in 2 seasons, and they went 4 wins, 9 wins, and we'll see. And it's not, and look, I mean, not saying that it's good, but I think that you have to figure out, if you're Deion Sanders, my question would be instead, how do you find success again? Because
that's a fair
because
question.
your son's not coming back in. You don't have another kid coming in to play quarterback, and you don't have another Travis Hunter, on the roster either, to do what they did for you last year. My question is what do you do? To me, it's, we got to figure out what is Juju, number one, and you're going to have to start building through recruiting instead of just transfer portal.
Agreed 100%. So no,
he's going to have to go out and actually recruit at some, kick over some rocks, find your diamonds in the roughs. I mean, like you said, Jason, transfer, you don't build a team through the transfer portal. And am I correct on that?
That's right.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. You have to supplement. You can say look, here's the bottom line of it. Ole Miss has been doing that, trying to go everything through the portal, and it's, to an extent, it's worked because Lane's a good coach. He's going to coach them up to what he needs to have them coached up to. But here's the truth. When they really did it last year, they didn't get to the playoff when it was all in or bust. They didn't get in. They blew it. You can talk about that they spent $30 million at Ohio State last year and they won the Natty. But their transfer guys they had 4 guys that they brought in, that they were the right 4 guys to bring in. Right?
Yeah, no, you're right. And to answer that question, Deion's OC is Pete Schumer, Pat Schumer.
Pat Schumer, yes.
Dude is, as far as X's and O's go, he's really smart. So like that's what bothers me if I'm a Colorado fan, is that right there. Right.
Well, and here's the other part that, and if Big Cuz was still in there, he'd say this. Don't forget that offensive line was looked a lot better in year 2, but they had a coach that came from Oklahoma, and he's now at Mississippi State.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and by the way, Mississippi State making that a competitive game.
Bro, I thought they had it. I thought they won it.
Yeah. I was just.
So what was this Oklahoma faking injuries to avoid Texas? What are you talking about?
I think he's just trolling at that point.
Oh, I know what he's doing. But Texas sucks. Just so y'all understand, Texas ain't done shit.
The brand.
The brand has finally returned. Fuck your brand.
Y'all ain't done shit. Look, Arch looked good against Sam Houston State. He looked like hammered shit against fucking UTEP. UTEP. He was whatever he had the last 2 weeks. So he had 14 touchdowns after last week. 14 touchdowns. One of them came against a team with a pulse. One.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Come on, Texas fans. I know y'all want them to be there. They're not there. They were never coming into this season as good as everybody acted like they were. And they're going to take it on the chin in the Red River, no matter whether Mateer plays or doesn't. Oklahoma wins it. Period. End of story.
It's 1:46 a.m. and Texas still sucks.
Indeed.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They might be mediocre in the Conference USA. Good for them. Good for them. They still suck. Yeah.
So the opposite side of that question then to you, Jason, and to you, Mike, is this. If the opportunity presented itself, let's say to a South Carolina or wherever, does Deion take that job and leave Colorado?
Ooh. I think if the money's right.
It's a good question. I don't know that. Here's the thing, though. I think that you probably could have already had a job somewhere else if you wanted it. And one thing, I know that we love to move the goalposts and all that shit with Coach Prime. I think a lot of people do, and give him a lot of hell about this and that, and we move the goalposts. But one thing, I think that he stays. I believe that he has. I think that he is going to stay loyal to CU for being willing to make that move. Right? I think he could have taken the job at Cincinnati probably, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much they offered him. It's the same type of deal, but Cincinnati at least had been. I think at least had been successful at least in the previous years coming up to it. CU was garbage. They paid him. They just extended him as well. That's the only thing about it is there's a big buyout for him to go anywhere. If he was going to go anywhere, it feels like he would have done it before he got that extension this year, and he didn't do it. So,
yeah, my take is pretty simple, and I think his health is not great, and I think that's why he stays at Colorado and ultimately retires after the next couple of years. So.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
It doesn't matter to me what quarterback plays. It doesn't matter who plays against Texas. They're going to beat you either way.
Who was rooting for the Mormons? BYU pulled it out.
Who was rooting for the Mormons?
Yeah, because BYU.
I know everybody hates on CU, but I mean, I don't have a problem with BYU either. That's a real program.
No.
Kalani Sitake is one of the best coaches in the country, without a doubt. Don't get it twisted. Kalani can coach. Yeah. And the only reason that he's not up for every job that comes up is because he's where he wants to be.
Yeah.
He's where he wants to be.
Kind of go ahead, Mike, sorry.
He has BYU, in position every year, got a good defense, got a good on both sides of the ball in the trenches. I mean, hell of a coach.
That's why I think Lane Kiffin will not leave Ole Miss. I truly feel that Lane Kiffin loves it at Ole Miss. I feel like the expectations of not having to go to the national championship or be in the playoffs are exactly what he needs to maintain his social life, Freshwater, Joey Freshwater, for you guys that don't know, and to still be relevant and keep Ole Miss, on track and make the big money. Like, that's why I feel like Lane Kiffin found his home now at Ole Miss, and he's got him on the right track. If they don't win a national championship, nobody's calling for his head. If he wins a national championship, it's just icing on the cake. I mean,
yeah. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. What are you talking about with Warren Sapp? Warren Sapp's a traitor. Hawker material. We whoop that ass. Yeah. But it doesn't matter either way. Look, Kiffin is the king in Oxford. Why would he leave? I wouldn't. And from what I understand,
wouldn't.
I don't think I know Florida fans are screaming for him. I don't think that their athletic director wants anything to do with him. It doesn't sound to me like, first of all, I don't think that Bama, I don't think Kalen DeBoer's in any kind of real trouble in Alabama right now at the moment.
no.
And even if he was, I don't get the idea that they really want him there either.
I don't know. Like, I don't know how to, I've heard multiple things on that. So I'm not going to speak on it because there's just so much rumored. You don't know what to believe and what not to believe. Me personally, we'll pretend that Kalen DeBoer hadn't been hired yet. I wouldn't mind Lane Kiffin coaching at Alabama. That's just me personally. And that's just because, but the boosters wouldn't like it. Why? Because Alabama is very political. They're very like, you know what I mean? They're hard-nosed, stiff from the booster perspective. Lane Kiffin wouldn't be able to get on there and start trolling the way he does at Oxford. See, at Oxford, he has the Grove. He has all the freedom he wants. He is the Saban of the Grove, right? So, and that's no shot whatsoever.
He's got more 10-win seasons than the rest of the coaches that have been there combined.
I believe he has the only 10-win season.
No, I think they had a few other than
Did
that.
they? Because I don't know. Like,
Hugh Freeze had one or two. They had a couple of them.
hang on, let me look. I got to look it up because I'm not trying to troll.
I've looked this stat up. There's like 11 in the history of it, 10 or 11, and he's got more than half.
Who's it? Let's see here.
Maybe it's 8 or 9 or something, but he's got more than half of them.
Yeah, no, I got you. So from 1958 to 2024, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They got 10 total. So yeah, and he went. Oh, okay. So he has their only 11-win season. My bad.
That's true.
That's bad. So I confused it with 10. So, damn, he's went 10-3, 11-2, 10-3, 10-3, 10-3. Well, sorry, he didn't win 10. Sorry, he went 10-3, 11-2, 10-3. That's damn.
Bro, now you just out here saying anything. Now you're just out here saying anything, bro. Oh,
You take your top lip and connect it to your bottom lip, you will shut the fuck up.
bro, come on now. Y'all, that D-line is so good that you had to go get 5 brand new dudes for that D-line in the spring portal. Come on, man.
Jonathan, you're on the outside looking in. You're a Bama fan. How does OU, let's put it in perspective. You're a Bama fan and you cover Bama football. How do you see OU's defense right now?
Well, one of the best in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Brent Venables is there. Since he's been there, the defense has improved and now become a staple of what that Oklahoma defense is. Like, there's no doubt what Oklahoma's going to bring in week in and week out is going to be defense. So, really, I look at this Oklahoma team as I'm not calling Oklahoma Georgia the run you could have, but Kirby Smart, you should get a damn good defense, right? Year in and year out on a regular basis. So you don't have to have the best quarterback in the world. Stetson Bennett was a walk-on and won 2 national championships. So, like, you know what I mean? And that's the way I view Oklahoma right now at the moment with BV. And it could definitely improve because who you get, Arbuckle, depends on what Arbuckle ends up looking like in the long term, not just with Mateer, but everybody he brings in the future. But, I think Oklahoma's sitting pretty good right now from the defensive standpoint, though. I don't think that's going to be
reason. And you can believe and think what you want about Michael Hawkins. And, everybody else has improved under Ben Arbuckle, but Michael Hawkins, even according to some OU fans, that's going to be the reason why Oklahoma gags it away. Well, let me just make something clear to you guys. The guy can make layered throws. We've seen him do it. He didn't get any kind of he didn't get the ability to show what he could do without Seth being the offensive coordinator last year. because of the worst game plan I've ever seen against South Carolina. They had the two best edge dudes in the country, and you've got a non-blocking tight end one-on-one against them in those plays that we're talking about. Don't get it twisted. He could have run that same game plan that they ran against Alabama, and he would have been in the end zone 2 more times. Because those 2 runs that Jackson took off of and got caught, you would have never caught him. Never. So here's the whole deal. You can say whatever you want about Michael Hawkins. He still doesn't have to come in and carry the load. Just like Mateer hasn't really had to carry the load either.
No. Your defense is great. There's no, like, when you have a great defense, not everything is put on the offense. We know this.
Yeah.
You look at the dynasties of the past up to now. That's usually how those things are built. You don't see, like, Lincoln Riley never had a dynasty at Oklahoma. You know what I mean? Like, and he was an offensive guy. Like, name me an offensive guy since 2000 that has a dynasty based on offensive play calling. Like, that's for me. I'm talking about one that calls plays based around that. Like, it's hard for me to think of one. Like,
yeah, and
Me too.
Afro said, y'all have the best D-line, no doubt. We have second, right? No, you don't. We don't know. How in the fuck would we know that? You've played dog water you every game except for Ohio State. And guess what? Ohio State came into that game with a brand new coordinator, a brand new quarterback, a brand new offensive line, and brand new running backs. And guess what? They knew that they did not have to put the ball in harm's way whatsoever because you were not going to score.
you just had to watch today's Washington game to figure that out. That's all they did today against Washington. So, yeah, no, you're 100% correct.
I mean, we haven't seen anything from Texas that makes me think, oh, my God, they're the second best team in the country, or they're the best team in the country, or they're the second best defense. I haven't seen that. I think that you have good players. I like Michael Taff. I think Anthony Hill is unbelievably good. I even like, I like your guy at edge, but we haven't seen much out of him. We haven't seen shit out of him. And in fact, when he went up, look, your all-world edge rusher, when he went up against Ohio State's brand new left tackle, got bitch slapped. He was a non-factor. A complete non-factor.
And Hudson, I'm talking about a dynasty, not a 1 year like championship year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
You're talking about years down the road as well.
yeah, like more than just 1 year is what I'm talking about. Like, you know what I mean? Like, those dynasties are typically, look at Nebraska even, you know what I mean? Like, they're built on you know what I mean? Having a good defense, plain and simple.
Clemson doing what they did was built on Brent Venables' defense.
That defense that Brent Venables had there was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's
Don't
no
get me wrong, you know, they were really good on offense too. It took both for them to be able to do what they were doing. But they don't beat Bama twice, and they don't own Ohio State if their defense isn't all God, all worldly.
Mm-hmm.
Every year. And they owned Ohio State during that time.
I'm just going to say, I've heard Jason and Coach Ricks talk about this a bunch. OU don't need to go out and score 40 or 50 points a game with this defense.
No. You're defeating the purpose of bringing Brent Venables in if that's going on. If Brent Venables is sitting in that seat as a head coach, and offense is scoring 40 on OU on a regular basis, Brent Venables is no longer the head coach anymore.
Right. Because you're not playing complimentary football and running the ball enough or doing enough to just let your defense rest, because your defense isn't going to stay in the top area if you're not. You've got to make sure that you don't go 3 and out like 9 times in a row like we saw last year.
Yeah.
Against Texas. And kind of the same deal against South Carolina the week after that. And in fact, the Auburn game, you had Michael Hawkins break a 48-yard touchdown run. Yep. Then they didn't score again until late in the game. They just weren't moving the football in between all that time. Now, where Auburn fucked up was not figuring it out and running the damn football in that game and keeping keeping that pressure on them. It wasn't good the way that. Look, Hugh Freeze has not done a good job. I'm sorry, he has not done a good job at Auburn.
No, he hasn't.
He's done not a damn thing at Auburn. I'm still confused on why Auburn fans are even still sticking up for this guy, to be completely honest with you. You talk about getting rid of Brian Harsin because it's immoral, but you bring in a damn guy that did what? You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit here and make it about that, but don't sit there and preach morality, because that's why you get rid of Harsin. And then you bring in Hugh Freeze.
Yeah, that was so stupid. And here's the thing, I hear bad things about Harsin all the time, right? But I don't know how much of it is the shit that came out of Auburn, because if you're hearing all this shit about Brian Harsin and what a terrible human he is, then why did he get the job at Auburn?
Did you not do no vetting?
Exactly. No. And then apparently, then he gets there and he starts screwing around and having an affair, and that's the reason you fire him. And then you go hire Hugh Freeze to replace him?
Exactly.
What are we talking about? It's just like that, man. It just goes right back to what we saw last week: the bitching and complaining about refs' calls that happened early in the game, and you still had your chances to win, didn't get it done, and then you blame shit that happened in the second quarter. What?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even make sense. Guess what? For all the Mateer haters that are out there, and I said this, I was trying to get Brinsky to come on and defend what he had to say about John Mateer versus his boy Ty Simpson. And I wasn't trashing Ty Simpson at all, by the way. But if you're going to talk about John Mateer didn't look like a Heisman winner in that game. After the broken thumb, he was 15 of 16. He was 11 of 11 going down the stretch and led the game-winning drive after they lost the lead.
You already know how I feel about it. Like, that's what, you know what I mean? Me and Brinsky, because he didn't like the fact that it all actually stemmed from Ryan Williams. Like, I call a spade a spade.
Ryan Williams is soft, bro. He needs to start catching footballs.
Like, if I think you're soft, you're soft. And it's not because of me just saying because you dropped a football. It's because when it's week in and week out that you get blown up off the ball, or you are afraid to essentially hit somebody to block. And I get it. He did a pretty good job later on. It's no offense. And I'm not sitting here criticizing anything about him off the field. That's nothing. It's not personal. It's just me giving my subjective opinion of an individual, like we all do. That's what all this is about anyways. It's a subjective opinion, right? So it's what podcasting and journalism and all this stuff is at the end of the day. So,
hey, Jonathan, can you address something? This Astro whatever is, they're saying we can't run the ball. What did, in y'all's win today over Georgia, how many yards per, what was the average yards per rush?
It was like 2.9 per rush that we averaged, and we got 117 total yards.
That ain't smoking up the world on a run game, is it?
Our run game wasn't impressive.
Okay, but you beat Georgia through the air, right?
Yeah, no doubt we beat them through the air. There's no getting around that.
There you go, Astro from space. The man just told you. You can be lacking in the run game, but we can tear your ass up in the air.
There's Brent.
And I'll put that.
Why is it his name? And there he is. He's got a link. He knows how to get in here.
Because
man, the hell, it's pinned to the top of the damn chat too. He knows what he's doing.
Man. No, but in all seriousness, like, because I'll be honest with you, at the beginning of it, I was messing with him.
I know you were. He got all wound up and shit. And I ain't doing the old man stuff. I was more giving you a hard time about Ryan Williams. But I'll say this. You brought up the wrong thing, B. You brought up the wrong thing, because he hit 15 of 16 after he broke his thumb and was 11 of 11 down the stretch and led the game-winning drive.
Yeah.
That's Heisman-worthy shit we're talking about.
When you look at what's happening so far this year, I think Ty's definitely on a roll right now. I'm going to bed. Yeah, no, it is 2 a.m.
I bet you are.
It is 2 a.m. At the end of the day, Ty's on a run right now. Like, I don't know of another
He looks really
quarterback
good.
right now.
Hey, I'm not shitting on Ty Simpson, bro.
But
You know
no,
that.
I know you're not. And I think Mateer, I mean, I'm the one that went on and said on their show, I said Mateer's going to be the best cornerback in the SEC at the end of this year. I wasn't saying it out of my ass. I just had a belief that, look, Brent Venables is going to have a defense put together, which is going to put Mateer in great situations to make his case for those type of games. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And, you know, of course, we have all the reasoning of you had 7 injured receivers last year. You know what I mean? Like the O-line was completely broken from every aspect. It's like you guys were rotating every week. We definitely going to talk about it, though.
Okay.
Oh, man. You need to advertise that.
Come on.
So, yeah, see, he said, I did say that. So, I absolutely believe, I said that Ty will be a top, I can't remember if it was 3 or 5. I said one of them. I said Ty Simpson by the end of the season will be a top 3 or 5 SEC quarterback. And I said Mateer will be the best SEC quarterback at the end of the year. I said Nussmeier was overrated. We can go, because I could pull all those clips from that stuff. And I'm not saying I'm correct on all this stuff. I'm just, you know, blowing up my own head right now because it's coming true a little bit. But I appreciate it, Charles.
Appreciate the $10 super chat there, Crow. Says, love Jason in the panel. Yes, that includes Jonathan. Appreciate that, man. You are all love to Crow.
I see you too, Brinsky.
Let's see. Yeah, Dwayne said, yeah, okay.
But
yeah, you ain't seeing me though, bro. That's what's up. Mm-hmm.
Oh my!
Come on, Brinsky. This is Jason's show. Give him some love.
Brinsky. That's all right. I'll be on his show Monday morning. Or Monday afternoon. You can bet he ain't running from me forever. You ain't running forever.
Oh my God. Bro, he said he drove big rigs and met lot lizards.
I was like, bro, I don't want to. Pitt Knight's losing it.
But
I've been talking it up, bro. What the hell?
But no, I think a lot of my faith when it comes to like preseason is usually the coaching staff, right? So that's why I felt like Nussmeier. It's not Nussmeier's overrated. I don't trust Brian Kelly to develop a quarterback, right? So. In my opinion, I'm not going to sit there and say he developed Jaden Daniels.
He didn't. Mike Denbrock did. Everybody knows that.
But people want to point to him and say he did that.
No, that was Mike Denbrock.
Bro, so I'm like, I can't say he had a lot of talent at the quarterback position in Notre Dame, but he vouched for a lot of that stuff. And it led to nothing, man. And it speaks to me. I had to say something.
They are a little nasty.
A little, yeah.
What's that station always says? Homeless shelter butt.
Homeless shelter butt. Funky. Like homeless shelter butt funky. Does LSU beat Texas next week? It's not LSU, it's Florida that's playing Texas.
It's Florida.
Yeah.
If LSU was playing Texas, I would say absolutely. With Florida, I don't know. I don't know that they have if they're going to play DJ Lagway, or I don't know if they are going to play DJ Lagway. Chances are he could end up redshirting and getting the hell out of there. If they really think they're going to fire Billy, and I'm DJ Lagway, I'm out.
Well, he's in a boot. So
listen, I wouldn't play again. I would take that red shirt, get the hell out of there, and get healthy. That's what I would do.
Yeah, Astro from space wants to know what's lot lizards. That's truck stop ladies of the night.
And me and Brinsky share this 100%. Brian Kelly's the most overrated coach of college football. 1,000%. Because this bro inherited a team full of talent in a state that doesn't even need a coach to recruit. Why? Because everybody in the state of Louisiana already wants to go to LSU. You don't have to be the best recruiter at LSU, right? So, like, all you have to do is not eat grass and learn how to speak a little bit, right? And you'll be fine. And even those dudes won national championships.
Yeah, listen, I mean, dude, yeah, you even get away with doing some wild shit like that they both did. I mean, when it came to Coach O and Les were,
bro, he was called the Joker for a reason.
Yeah.
He didn't get that nickname for no reason. this dude was unstable a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
like, and he won a national championship. So, good Lord.
Texas should beat Florida. I don't know that they do. Here's the thing. Going to Florida in the swamp, if you want to talk about what's the second best defensive line, I think it's at Florida.
Defensive line. Now, look, Florida do have a little bit of a defense. Since they put Cormani McLean a little bit in that thing, they're really athletic for sure on the back end.
They are.
Their biggest problem is they don't know how to hand the ball off to one of the best running backs in the SEC in Ball, Jaden Ball.
What are we talking about? So much of these lot lizards and sleeper leapers.
But yeah, like in my opinion, like it's not very hard. Like, I don't know. It seems like Florida can't do the simple things correct anymore.
No, listen, you should win the game if you're Texas. But the fact is, being in the swamp, and if you know that they're going to show up for any game, it'll be this one because they want to see. Because look, everybody wants to get a look at Arch Manning, and they want to see if they can find a way to pull it out in the swamp. So, to me, should you win if you're Texas? Yeah, if you're worth the shit, you should. But I got to tell you, we haven't seen them be worth the shit against anybody except for trash-ass teams. And I would tell you, UTEP, you weren't really good. You won by 17. You were supposed to win by 40.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
well, Jason, Jonathan, let's not forget Sunbelt Billy. Just when you think he's fixing to get the axe, he plays one of these teams that he's supposed to get dog walked, and he miraculously wins the freaking game. You know?
Man, I'm telling you right now, out of all the games to lose, if I'm Texas, I know you really hate Oklahoma, but if you lose to Florida, with Florida in this condition, man, are you going to hear it from everybody?
Mm-hmm.
That would change the narrative about Sark immediately.
I mean, in the whole Arch thing, wow. Like, if he has just a decent, if not bad, game against Florida, and Florida has a pretty good defense, and Florida somehow beat you, there's going to be some serious question marks having to be asked because Florida is in shambles right now.
Shambles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
And I hate to rip this Band-Aid off, but I'd hate to be Texas right now thinking that they lost to the worst OU team ever fielded in 1998 against John Blake.
Crow. Crow. Nasty, man. Oh, my Lord. No, nobody's hating on truckers, man. Nobody's hating on truckers.
Hell no. I respect
we love was a trucker.
We're not hating on truckers. We're talking about we're talking about lot lizards, bro. What the fuck?
That's not what I was gonna say. I'm Navy. I was in the Air Force, man, for 13 years. Some of the places we traveled.
I was in the Army.
There you go.
Yeah, I was Air Force too.
Yeah, we're all three. Yeah, you're right. So Coonsan got stuff down there that. Yeah.
Oh, Coonsan. Oof. Apple and
I was in.
Get it going.
I was in Tonga, Sean.
There you go. So, and Songton Sally and Osan, man, like you got some stuff. Well, we won't go into that. We're not going into that stuff, man.
Oh, Lord have mercy. We got way off.
Hey, Jonathan, did you ever hit that soju coma when you was over there?
Damn right, I did. Soju, man, that grape or cherry out of the kettle, the cold kettles. Woo,
oh yeah, the kettle.
Yeah.
Oh. I never had the pleasure of going to Korea, but
it was a good time. Work hard, play hard. Put it that way.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yep. Korea, awesome. All right. Well, let's see, Jack. Texas is nothing to be scared of. And listen, I don't think they are either. That's the whole thing is Texas has not shown anybody anything when you compare it to what all the hype coming into this season. That's just all there is to it. And I know we're going to continue having this conversation, but you better come in. After next week, you better come in with a win over Florida, or else that it's not a conversation you Texas fans are going to want to have.
No.
I'll tell you that much.
No. You don't want to be the team that saves Billy's job. That's why I'm stressing that, is because you don't want to be that team.
And that's the thing. If you're Florida, you almost have to pray and hope
that you lose. Exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
If you win that game and they somehow, because they did get beat by 40 last year in Austin. So if you lose that game or win that game, and now all of a sudden, well, maybe because DJ Lagway or whatever, nah. This ain't it, man. This ain't it. And I think that most of the fans in that fan base are saying the same thing. They don't want to keep him around.
No, all of them want to go on at this point. They all are saying he needs to be gone. So that's what I'm getting at. That so now that's really my overall point. I guess you just made it more clear. Was it's not you got to worry about the Texas fans turning on Texas. It's the fact that you're going to have Florida fans that are pissed off at Texas for Texas allowing that to happen. May sound crazy, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
Yeah.
We're good, Astro. Don't worry. No worries. You know we're going to bust your chops, though. You know we're going to bust your chops. If you're talking good about Texas in here, you're not going to do anything but catch hell because they haven't looked good. And look, I would be the one to tell you that, hey, they look good right now. I don't agree with anybody that thinks that defense is number one in the country or one of the best elite defenses in the. I don't buy it because I haven't seen them do anything against a team, even Ohio State. Ohio State did not even try to go out there and score a bunch of points. I get it. They only scored 14, but they knew you couldn't score. There was no way they were going to go out there and put the ball in harm's way. There was no way they were doing it. So
yeah,
I'm not buying it.
Me either.
Did you guys watch the Alabama game?
I did. I loved it. It was a great game.
I did.
Tell me you didn't. Tell me you loved the throw to our left tackle.
Oh my God, that was epic.
Nice play call, man. Great play
call. When I saw that, I thought my damn eyes were crossed or something. I'm like, am I seeing this right? Am I drinking too much?
And I love it. These are the kind of play calls that you want to see, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And you want to see them go outside of what you've seen, expectations. Nobody's expecting that coming. You know, you hadn't even seen anything like that. Bro,
that man went in motion at one point in that game. At one point, he went in motion on a jet sweep. When the hell have I ever seen a 359-pound man go in motion on a jet sweep? They never ran that play. They had to call timeout. But when I saw that, I was like, am my damn eyes seeing stuff correct? And then I saw the pass to him, and I was like, oh, apparently he's our new running back or tight end. Like, damn, okay.
Here's the thing about those 360-pound tackles is they don't move quite as well as you'd like them to.
Usually not. This man moves a little bit.
He can move a little bit. I'll get it.
For a 360-pound
even Coach Tom was talking about that last week, is that at this point, with the way these edge guys are these days, I mean, they're the best athletes on the field and all that kind of stuff. I mean, explosive, fast, twitchy, all that kind of stuff is that you know, your left tackle, you want them to be big, but they have to be able to move.
Yeah.
They have to be able to move and get their hands on guys because if
Did
they
the
don't.
Big fella score on that, Jonathan?
No, he got to like the 2-yard line or 1 yard. He was right there. He got a first down though.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he didn't score, unfortunately. I wish he would have scored, man. His foot stepped out at like the 1.5.
That was a great play. I loved that. I loved it.
Man, that's one of the best plays I've seen. Because when it happened, like I said, the first one, when he went on a jet sweep motion, he didn't get the ball. Like I said, we couldn't run the play. But when that happened, I was like, I didn't see that right. That had to be Caleb Edwards or a tight end. Yeah, and then I realized he wasn't at left tackle.
The Georgia corner made a business decision on that play. Yes, he did.
Oh, 100% agree with you.
I don't blame you not one bit.
Is my future worth
one bit? Oh Lord, he did.
Yeah, I was sitting there screaming at the TV. Yeah, give it to the big fella.
Big folks. Woo. That was great. It was a good game, and you know, going back through it, as we said, you know, there's been if you look at what you saw today, this is, I mean, obviously Ohio State winning 24-6 easily. They kind of did the same thing. They didn't put the ball in harm's way. They didn't have to. Oregon getting that win was huge. LSU, I think you found out a lot today about them. I think that they're probably at least another loss at least one more loss before they get to Oklahoma at the end of the year. Georgia still can't beat Alabama. Auburn is still what we knew they were last week. They're going to keep on losing, I would say. Not sure what I think about Indiana only winning by 5 on the road. Mississippi State may be on their way back. Look, Georgia Tech escaped from Wake Forest. Big time.
Yep.
Vandy's a real team.
Vandy is the real deal. Look, man, I know it's Utah State, but Vanderbilt has handled business in every game they've played.
When's the last time we saw a Vandy team average 50 points a game?
Wow. Never.
Or a game day possibly being at Tuscaloosa playing Vanderbilt. Guys,
listen, that's a tough game next week. That's why I was about to bring it up. That was what I wanted to run through that. And how do you win the game? What do you have to do if you're Alabama to win this football game?
I think, in my opinion, this last year caught us off guard. The offense, Pavia, I get it. And I'm not saying we're going to go in there and just beat them. That's not what I'm getting at. But we're not on the road. We're at home. Ty Simpson has his legs underneath him. Our offensive line looks better. Our defense is improving. Like, I don't think it's a matter of what we need to do to beat Vandy. I think if we played the way we played tonight, we're definitely going to beat Vandy. And that's just from my point, speaking of, like Coach Sean likes to say, we can't get passy. We got to keep running the ball even when it's not working. Keep those guys disciplined. And I think, Vanderbilt's going to score some points on us because they run an abnormal offense, right? They're going to score some points. I get that. I don't expect it to be a shutout, but I think we'll handle business at the end of the day. This is a business decision coming up for Vandy to even play this game because I have a feeling Alabama's going to have it out for them. Because, all we've been hearing is the shit talking from Vandy for the past year, which, by the way, we deserve. We lost to them. When you lose to somebody, hey, congratulations. Oklahoma wants to talk shit? They can. You know what I mean? Florida State wants to talk shit? They can. Now, I just lost to Virginia. I'll give it back, but you deserve the right to talk the shit, so...
Yeah, by the way, nobody brought that one up. Virginia beating Florida State.
Yeah.
Yikes.
That's a bad loss in my opinion.
I know that Virginia's kind of putting it together at the end of last year and start of this year, they've looked a lot better. But it looks to me like, it's a little different, right?
Yeah, no, agree. And Zach says it'd be just like Bama under the borders. Look, if that happens, dude, my ass may be in the transfer portal. I can't take another year of hearing Vandy fans talk shit.
Bro, yeah. The first time in 40 years. Look, truth is you shouldn't lose that game if you're Alabama. But if you did, they're a better football team than they were a year ago, and they weren't bad a year ago either.
Yeah, but we can't lose to Vandy, man.
Can't lose a game.
You can't. There's certain games you can't lose, and that's Vandy. Sorry. No disrespect, but no, absolutely not.
I think if y'all can contain Pavia, just keep him under bay. I think y'all, because that's that.
You got to make him beat you with his arm, not his legs, right? You got to make him beat you with his legs.
It's not even just that, guys. It's the offense they run. You have to have so much gap discipline that it hurts you. You get what I'm saying? So that you could easily overrun everything, which is what happened last year.
Supreme eye discipline for every defense.
100%. So, like, if you lack discipline as far as run fits, right, and overrunning plays or whatever that may look like, Deontay Lawson was one of the worst at that last year. He's slightly improved this year. Right now, Justin Jefferson is bad at that, and I hope he improves a lot because Vandy – it's going to be a damn knockout, drag out fight if we haven't learned our lesson against them and take them serious. And by serious, I mean get some damn discipline. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. No, I think if you can get discipline in your run fits, that forces him to beat you with his arm. And I don't think he can do that.
No, I don't think so either.
As much I mean, I'm a Pavia lover. I love him. I think he's a fantastic football player. Right?
Hell of a story.
I mean,
but I would just tell you that you better make him beat you with his arm because that's the weakest part of his game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you go back and look last year, if Bama does to Vandy what OU did to Bama last year at home, you know, make Jalen Milroe beat you with his arm instead of his legs, you know. But like you said, Jonathan, the offense they run, I mean, you got to, and the guy in the chat, you got to have eye discipline over that whole damn offense because they run some funky schemes out of that.
They've got a great offensive coordinator. They've got, and look, I mean, their head coach is their defensive guy. He's legit too. You know, he's working on. I mean, he's working on getting himself a better job out of there. But I don't know that he ever leaves necessarily because of the fact that he's a Vandy guy. He went to Vandy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of is what it is. But
look, that's funny, bro. I dated a Vandy gal. She had my tax number. I even care. That's funny. Yeah, they are smart.
They are smart.
Oh, man.
Ivy League.
It is the Ivy League of the South right there.
It definitely is.
Mm-hmm.
So no, everybody would prefer to talk about LSU than the team that beat them. So here we go again. Is LSU weak or is Ole Miss just that good? LSU is probably weak, Mr. Mayfield.
I agree.
Because Ole Miss's defense is dog water. Sorry, but not sorry. We're gonna continue talking about what we think is the deal. You know,
it's all subjective opinions. It's all fun.
It's true.
Oh yeah.
It's like assholes.
We'll see how good y'all are when you get to Norman, big boy.
Yeah.
We'll see how good y'all are when you get to Norman.
Yes, sir.
Shouldn't fear anyone. The defensive D-line won't allow Tennessee, Ole Miss, or whoever else has the time to throw deep routes unless it's a simple read from a zero blitz. We good.
Yeah.
And look, Oklahoma doesn't. Let me just say this for OU. We do not have any room whatsoever to start resting on who we are and our laurels over what has happened in the first 4 games of the season. There's 8 more to go. Before you even start feeling yourself, you better get through and win an Alabama game before you start feeling yourself. You better get through all this and not have more than 1 loss after Bama.
Yeah.
And even then, I think you need to go out and handle business. We've seen Oklahoma not be as good as they were in the first half and the second half. So don't get it twisted and think that this is sunshine pumping over here on this channel for OU because it isn't. The expectations for me are what they were at the start of the year is go show me because I need to see it.
Yeah, Jason, look what happened to us that year we beat Texas 34-30. I mean, we went straight ass after Texas. Mm-hmm. I mean, we barely won the Cincinnati. We got beat by Kansas. I mean, what did we go on like?
UCF is who it was, not Cincinnati. It was UCF, and then we turned around and got beat by Kansas and Okie Light in back-to-back weeks.
Yes.
It cannot happen anymore.
No.
So, to me, listen, Coach V's still on the hot seat. Don't get it twisted. You started good. Yeah. That makes it even hotter if you don't find a way in.
Exactly.
Because right now it looks like you should be able to get into the playoff.
Mm-hmm.
This SEC gauntlet is interesting because you have a lot of damn good teams that show that they can be the potential.
Tennessee, Ole Miss, LSU, Missouri, Bama, and LSU is left on this schedule on top of Texas and South Carolina.
And they're all and they're ranked.
Like Georgia is not going to come out of the top 10 from 1 loss. Like there's a lot we still got to dig into. The next 3 weeks is really going to shape how this season's going to look. And I feel bad for Florida. Florida fans, guys, if you can send them any like support packages, maybe, because they're going to need it. Florida's about to go through it for the next like 5 weeks. Their schedule is unbelievable. Like, really. I would rather play like an NFL schedule at this point. What they're going to go through.
Listen, and that's what I mean. I think that Oklahoma, without this defense, you can't look at the rest of the schedule that they have after this week coming up and think that Oklahoma's going to get through that and make the playoff if they don't have a defense like this, because there's no way you could. And no matter who the quarterback is, you have to get out there and continue to put points on the board when you need to, when they give you opportunities to, and you can't be turning the football over. You have to do your job. And listen, I'm not telling you that I think we're okay with Michael Hawkins because I mean, you better be okay is what I'm getting at. It's not this that I think so, because I do think so, but you better be. Michael Hawkins has to go out there and prove it. He doesn't have to be all world. He doesn't have to go out there and get his name in the Heisman talk or any of that kind of shit. All he has to do is go out there and run the offense the way they put it together, be successful. Don't turn the football over. Put some points on the board when you need to. Take advantage of good situations that you're going to get from this defense. If you do that, then you've done your job.
Bro, I didn't realize how hard of a schedule you guys have to end the season.
Yeah.
Holy.
That's what I just said. I mean, look,
it's brutal.
This one, it's Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee on the road, South Carolina on the road, Bama on the road, then Mizzou and LSU to close it out.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing to feel good about yet until you win some of these fucking games.
Yeah, you better like latch up. Like, if you can beat Texas, I'm feeling really good. Only because you're supposed to beat Texas, in my opinion.
But you got to beat them, and it's a game that you could lose because it's Texas. Look,
yes,
you'd say this about Auburn.
100%.
You lose the game just because it's Auburn.
It's who it is.
Yeah.
No. So realistically, you got to beat. Realistically, if I'm looking at your schedule, you have to beat South Carolina at South Carolina. There is no option. Otherwise, shit can turn downhill for Oklahoma extremely fast.
The good news is that you're getting healthier on offense. You are getting healthier on offense. Aside from Mateer, you've got Giovanni Gibson coming back. Giovanni Gibson was getting ready we were ready for him from the time that they got him. That guy is a beast. I remember you talking about him coming from Arkansas, Pine Bluff. The guy's legit, right?
He is.
He's going to be huge. I think you can open it up. Get the football to your weapons. And this is something that people forget about Hawkins from last year is he had the same guys to throw to as what Jackson had. And everybody that likes to give Jackson the benefit of the doubt, well, he had a bad situation at OU. So did Michael Hawkins, but we're not giving him the benefit of that same doubt. Now Michael Hawkins has weapons to go to. Will they run the ball as well? Will they run the ball better? Yeah, probably. There's going to be games that you're going to have to win throwing the football. Because guess what? It's the SEC. Nobody runs the ball that good in the SEC right now. Name the one team that does. I'll wait.
No, you're definitely right.
So you're going to have to go out there and get it done. Do I love where Oklahoma's at the moment? I love it. I'd probably love it more if Mateer was still healthy. But guess what? I believe in what Michael Hawkins is, but we have to see it, though. We have to.
Vandy beat South Carolina 31-7.
Yeah, they beat the shit out of them.
Hey,
yeah.
I didn't realize it was 31. And by the way, Bobby just put up 321 yards, passing 5 TDs, and a rushing TD at another 80 yards on the ground against Utah.
If he's not in front of the Heisman race, then who the fuck is?
That man's on an absolute tear right now.
He's on a heater, bro.
Listen to this. If you would have told me this, I would have told you you're crazy. This is how many points they've scored. 45, 44, 31, 70, and 55. That's a Vanderbilt team. What the hell are we talking about? What am I in some multiverse?
Robert Mayfield, we have seen a running quarterback by the name of Bryce Underwood, and he didn't do jack diddly
Jackson
squat.
Arnold too.
And Jackson Arnold. So please spare me.
Give me a fucking break.
And we're going.
Robert, he can own a game. Robert Mayfield. When has he done that?
Not on this defense. Not on this defense.
When's he done it at all? When's he done it at all?
Never.
Sellers ain't done shit. I know everybody wants to love on him, and his athleticism is real. What has he done? Yeah. What has he done?
I'm sitting here listening.
He had 17 touchdowns last year.
I don't want to say this without sounding crazy, but is it not like it? It feels Anthony Richardson-ish.
It does. No, he had a total of 24 touchdowns last year, 17 of them through the air, 4 on the ground. He didn't even have 3,000 yards. He had like 2,500 yards passing, and we're acting like he's Cam Newton. He ain't.
Oh, hell no. Dude, I said it. It's like Missouri. Missouri's a good team, but are they a world beater? No. Like
Ahmad Hardy's a bad dude. I'll give him that. That's the team that you should worry about running the football.
Yeah, no, you're right on that. Really, the only team that should have a pretty consistent running offense, it should be Florida, because they have one of the best running backs in the SEC, I think. But yeah, going to be interesting next 3 to 4 weeks.
Yeah, listen, I think this is probably the most up for grabs college football season for the national championship, for the SEC championship that I can remember in a fucking long time.
Me too.
Like, there is no just dominant.
I mean, which team can you look at and say for sure they're winning it all? No way.
No,
you can. And if you start thinking about who are the real contenders here, you probably are around 9-10 teams before you really have to stop and say, well, probably not them.
Yeah.
In all reality, yeah. I mean, no, you're right. Because there are some good teams out there.
There are good football teams, man. There really are.
Real good ones.
There really are.
Really.
Yeah, like
2007.
Yeah, no, you're right. When Florida won it. Or, did Florida win it?
No, that was 09, wasn't it?
That was, no, we won it in 09. 08, Florida won it.
08, Florida won it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And even, I mean, you should have won that in my mind. If DeMarco plays, they do win.
Yep.
But again, it is what it is. It's going to be a lot of fun, though. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I think you have to take the good with the bad here. But in my mind, I think that there's two teams in the Big Ten that can do it. 2. The rest of the teams are probably in the SEC.
Yeah, Ohio State and Oregon, for sure, I think are good contenders, like really good contenders.
True contenders, right?
Yeah, like true contenders. Yeah, and I don't think, I think if look, I don't want to say this because it's early and I don't have complete faith in them. But if Miami can put something together where they can just be consistent,
mm-hmm.
I'll have faith in them because we know Clemson's out of it. Like Florida State's out of it. Them losing Virginia just showed me what you're about. So,
I mean, there's a lot of teams that can show out.
Yeah,
but Florida State they took a hit on them winning that conference. Right now, do you trust Mario Cristobal?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's the problem I have with that whole ordeal. And what the hell happened to Syracuse after they beat Clemson?
Mm-hmm.
They lost bad today, I think.
Really bad.
Yeah.
They didn't look good at all.
But yeah,
Didn't look good at all. But to me, it's not even just that they lost to Virginia, Florida State, right? It's not even really that they lost because Virginia, they've got one loss. But it's the fact that they gave them 46 points. I thought their defense was better than that.
And Castellones came out and made a remark about it, but yeah. He said that they rested on their laurels and they treated it like Alabama was their Super Bowl. That's all fine and dandy, but trust me, as an Alabama fan, last year I know that feeling because when we beat Georgia, it was like you couldn't beat Alabama. At that point, you couldn't tell us any different because we hadn't lost yet under Kalen DeBoer. You know what I mean? And then we're going to beat Georgia?
I mean, Mayfield's sitting there saying OSU and Miami right now. I mean, you say that, but would you put a lot of money on either one of them winning the Natty right now?
No,
I bet you wouldn't.
absolutely not. And Miami has still got some big question marks. So
Yes, they do. They have a better defense. They have
the defense is fast, really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Hey, right now, if you was to ask me who was the top contender for the Natty, I'd say I don't know. I mean, I really don't at this point. Any of the top echelon teams I've watched so far, any one of them can win it. I mean, I haven't seen, usually Jonathan and Jason, you see that one team prior to this year that you said, okay, these guys are going to go the distance. They're going to do it. This year, I can't get a feel on it to save my life.
No, I definitely can't because I'm looking at Miami, like even right now with Miami's schedule, like Miami has at Florida State next, right? And then it's Louisville, Stanford, SMU, Syracuse, NC State, Virginia Tech, and Pitt. If Miami gets past Florida State, I still won't even really know who they are because outside of Notre Dame, and Notre Dame to me completely fell through. Like, I don't know what you get out of Miami because depending on who they play in the ACC championship game, they don't even play.
If whoever they're playing is close in crunch time, Mario Cristobal can fuck that all up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so the only good team on their schedule, like decent, realistically could be Notre Dame and Florida State. Literally the whole season. How do you gauge anything off that? I think it's very tough. I think it's one of those situations to where you don't even know who Miami is, even if they go undefeated and get into the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's a weird situation.
Here's my question. Do you see top to bottom in the Big 12, do you see any contender in that conference now? I mean, because
Texas Tech. Really?
Texas Tech is
I'm being serious. I don't know.
When Texas Tech wins the Big 12, I'll give them their props. Until then, I'm not, because money. I mean, look, man, you can go spend money and bring all these guys in and everything like that, and they've looked really good up until this point. But let's think about something here. Utah wasn't for real. I don't think they're for real. They had a quarterback that couldn't throw the football. He could run it a little bit, but you weren't going to run in that game against Texas Tech. You weren't going to do it. You were going to have to go out there and throw the ball around, and they weren't able to do that. I mean, Tech's backup came in and got them. So good. Right now, do they look like the best team in the Big 12? Sure. But, I mean, we thought the same thing about TCU, and guess what? They just lost the game to Arizona State. Arizona State and Iowa State are still the real deal.
Yeah, Iowa State won again, so they're 5-0. But even then, let me bring up
such a good job. Matt has done such a good job there.
But even let's be real for a minute, because Iowa State's only played one team, Kansas State, South Dakota, Iowa. Iowa, by the way, is trash. By the way, Arkansas State,
they only lost by 5 to Indiana, who's everybody's all high on, top 10 and everything.
Like, Yeah, so and then they still, and once again, you're in a predicament of your conference because they finished the season with Cincinnati, Colorado, BYU, Arizona State, TCU, Kansas, and Oklahoma State. So BYU and TCU, that's how we're going to judge what you're going to look like? Really? Is this what we're coming down to?
I mean, who's Tech got? I mean, look at Tech's schedule, though.
I think it's very similar.
Pretty similar. Look,
they're all.
I got to see, but here's the one thing I know is that even in their best years, when the Pirate was there, they didn't get the job done. You know, they didn't get the job done. Now they had to deal with Texas and Oklahoma back in those days.
Theirs is even worse.
Yeah, theirs is even worse.
Houston, garbage. Kansas, garbage. Arizona State, garbage. Oklahoma State, garbage. Kansas State, still kind of garbage.
Not good. Yeah, they're not good.
BYU's looking good so far. UCF and then West Virginia. Mm-hmm. So what? Once again, we're judging you based off of BYU?
Or no, Utah. They haven't played BYU yet.
No. What I'm getting at is that would have to be your staple win.
Yeah, and they've got a freshman playing quarterback.
Yeah.
So there's just Big 12 and the ACC.
Yeah,
Clemson not being good is hurting the ACC.
It's hurting.
It is hurting a lot.
And the thing is like, okay, so who's left? So are you going to look at Miller Moss and Louisville to like step up and be one of those teams in the ACC? I don't think so.
No.
You know what I mean? I mean, I like Jeff Brom, but I don't believe in them. And then Georgia Tech, look, that's the one. Look, Haynes King has done a great job, and they keep on, but they kind of survived today against Wake Forest. Maybe that's a Styles win fight game, and they figured it out. But I don't know that I trust them. They beat the hell out of. I mean, they had Clemson's number. But and I like the way that they play. I really do. But you'll find out something towards the end of the year with them against Georgia, or at the end of the year, them in Georgia. But
yeah,
I think that it's up in the air. I do. The ACC, they're not gonna put three of them in there. I know that they're not putting three teams in. They might not put two teams in from the ACC. So you're gonna end up with one from each. Probably in the Big 12, maybe they get two. I would think that they should if the ACC is that bad. And they end up with a couple of two-loss teams in the championship game. I think that they probably earn one. But I still think you're going to end up with a bunch of teams that they're gonna feast on each other. I think you're not going to have a bunch of teams that have one loss or anything like that in the Big 12. I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
The schedule is going to come into play. Believe it. The SEC is going to end up getting a minimum of 4 in.
Yeah.
Well, Jason, let me ask you and Jonathan this. Let's say OU goes 9-3. Does 9-3 get you into the playoff this year?
If you beat Texas, sure.
It's really because it's kind of a tricky situation when you look at the scheduling as a whole. Because if you let's just say Georgia goes 10-2, Alabama goes 10-2, Ole Miss goes 10-2, Tennessee goes 10-2. Those are all.
They're all.
And you're assuming Oklahoma goes 9-3. They're going to put those teams.
I don't think that they get in at 9-3. I think it's hard to do it. I think even with the schedule, and then there's the automatic assumption that because of material, if he's out for the Texas game or if he's out for any extended period of time, that you would give them the benefit of the doubt when he came back. I don't think that that's the case. But now, strength of schedule wise, you would think they should. But that's going to force the Big Ten to have a bunch of teams with 3 losses. And there's probably not going to be a bunch of 3-loss teams in the Big Ten because they don't play each other, the better ones.
Mm-hmm.
They protect themselves from each other.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So
Go ahead.
So basically, OU is going on what y'all's describing. We're going to have to be 10 or 2.
You need to win 10.
You do need 10 is the number, I feel like.
And you should be able to win 10.
Yeah, we should be able to.
Look, again, you have the best defense. So you can go out there and you can shut them down in Tennessee. We watched a bad defense for Georgia's standards go out there and win. With this defense that we have, you should be able to go out there and put enough points on the board in Neyland to win that fucking game. You damn sure can't afford to lose to South Carolina. You need to beat Texas. You should beat Texas. The Tennessee game is going to hinge on that one and Alabama. And then of course you get to the last two. Look, if you can get through the rest of it, you get through Alabama and you only have one loss, then you're getting in. Because you're not going to lose the last two. You might split the last two, but if you can go through these next, I think it all comes down to get through from Texas to Bama with only one. You find a way to only lose one in that stretch there, you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not losing to Missouri at home. And
oh, hell no.
It's not happening. And then you're not going to, and look, LSU it's a question mark for me because Oklahoma hasn't beaten them.
Yeah, if that's the case, then it's kind of like Georgia playing Alabama. Like, no matter what the matchup looks like, it's for some reason, Georgia just cannot find a way to squeeze it out.
Right. Now, I would say that if you continue playing offense the way I believe Oklahoma is going to continue to, our buckle scheme is going to allow you to put points on the board. And I think you're going to do it against everybody you have left. No matter who's playing quarterback, by the way. I think you will. But you have to assume that you're going to hit a roadblock somewhere. But you can only afford to hit that one in between now and Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like us. A lot of people were saying this wasn't a hinge game for Alabama, and I argued against that. I said, no, we have to beat Georgia because if we lose to Georgia, that means we have to win out. And our schedule to win out, realistically, it's almost impossible. Like in college football now, with it being what it is, I mean, there's no team. The days of just completely dominating year in and year out, I feel like are pretty much over with. I feel like we'll have a set of schools that will position themselves in that to be in that running. But as far as coming in, you remember the year, like obviously the most notable was like the Alabama years, past couple of years. They went by past. I mean, when they went on their run and winning 2 out of 3 and then 3 out of 5 and all that good stuff. Like those years were like Alabama is the best team coming into the year. In my opinion, realistically, I think we can't do that anymore. I'm sorry, we don't know because the depth isn't there anymore because NIL stripped the depth away. It prevented teams like Alabama, Georgia to basically create that depth that gave them the advantage.
Mm-hmm.
That's ultimately what it came down to. Like, I mean, good example of that's right now with Alabama and their defensive line.
Yeah.
But
exactly, Jonathan.
This is right here. Generations of us have hosted both you knuckleheads. Y'all are not the SEC. BOU, not a conference. I agree. And here's the thing. I said this earlier this week on Twitter. You have people that are still doing this. OU's not an SEC team. Texas isn't an SEC. They're not SEC, blah, blah, blah. We don't give a fuck. Just so you understand, there is nobody at Oklahoma, no fan of Oklahoma who's going to chant SEC. Ever, ever, ever.
Never say ever.
Nobody fucking cares. We hate all you motherfuckers. We hate you all. Just like all of you hate LU in Texas, we hate you all back.
Yep.
Believe that.
I can hate you with respect.
Agreed. I'm the same way. You know, I have respect towards Bama and I have respect towards Georgia and all that.
But Auburn can literally go shove. Yeah.
I am finding out real quick that Auburn, I can see why all you Bama fans treat them like the little Chihuahua dogs and get the little squirt bottle.
That's what they are.
Bro, they're a nuisance. Literally. They're like a raccoon in your basement, or you know what I mean, that crawl space that has baby raccoons and they just won't go away. That's what Auburn is. Like
I
Daniel
always
trying to sleep.
It's been a poor
They-
introduction. A poor introduction for what? For one season when they had a bunch of injuries? Sure, cool. They also didn't get the same kind of schedule that Texas got on the way in. So
That's
you
right.
know, but here's the one thing I'll say about the SEC. The SEC, I believe this with everything in part of me, and prove me wrong. I think that they were hoping they could push little shitty OU down into making them believe what the hell y'all have all said they are, so that they don't become one of those teams that's always in the running. Because you don't want to see that. And OU needed to come out and have a season like they've started having. They need to finish this season off. But make no mistake, there's not a team in the fucking league that Oklahoma's afraid of.
No.
There isn't.
I think, but I will say this. I think most of your SEC fans, when you guys joined, I don't believe most of them were looking at Oklahoma and saying, we want you to be that team to push down. That was Texas. Because I don't know why this natural hatred towards Texas happens, but it bleeds into almost every fan base.
Because all they do is it's all bullshit. It's all unnatural hype. It's just hype all the time. Here's the deal. Out of the Big 12 teams that came in, the better team is Oklahoma. Believe that. Know that is true. You know why I know? Because of the damn Big 12 championships. 14 for Oklahoma in 28 years, 4 for Texas. 4.
Yeah, it's not good.
You can say what you want about Texas and that they're the better team. No, they're not. No, they're not. They lead the Red River back when the football was a medicine ball. And there were no black guys playing football at that time there. That's why they lead it.
So what you're saying before the forward pass in 1911, if I'm wrong?
Their advantage is not from, it's not even from after World War II. Oklahoma owns the series after World War II.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a real blue blood, it isn't Texas, it's Oklahoma. One bad season doesn't change that. It doesn't.
No, I agree, man. But
yeah.
Well, fellas, I'm gonna jump off here.
Yeah, it's time to go. We've been going.
Man, I enjoyed the hell out of this, guys.
I had to get in here and talk some shit, man. It was a good day. It was a good day.
My day was, dude, I don't know if I missed on a game. Like today was one of the best days I've had in years when it comes to the weekends. It all just lined up.
That, and I got to see Jonathan tonight. I haven't seen him in a King's age.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I mean, I try to get on when I can, man. Staying busy as usual.
Oh, but man, I'm like you, Jonathan. I had me a marathon. Being how we had a bye week this week, man. I had the old college football 6 screens up on the TV, and I'm like, yeah, this is living.
That was me last week, man, when Alabama had a bye week, and I was like, oh, finally get a break and not have to stress and worry about everything. And yeah.
It's not about the SEC stuff, guys. Not for real programs.
No.
Look, I look at Alabama. They are the SEC for me. They are. Georgia has established themselves as among the elite. LSU, they've done so and so in the last 20 years. You've had 20 years total of Florida being worth the shit. Tennessee, come on, give me a break. The truth of it is Alabama owns the SEC. They've always owned the SEC. You don't hear Alabama fans talking about SEC. They don't do that shit. You know why?
No.
They're just like I just said, fuck everybody but us.
Yeah. I'm not even going to lie. Like going to an Alabama tailgate, you'll really feel that. Like I love Alabama tailgates. And they're going to show you love, but it doesn't matter who you are. They don't give a shit about you. I'm telling you right now, it's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
Like, because Alabama, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where you hear people, you don't see people saying, you know, we want whoever.
But I always thought because like Coach Rick says, I've been following OU since Moses parted the Red Sea and all. But, you know, I've always felt like Alabama and Oklahoma sort of had a kinship with each other on our styles, our play type, you know.
There's always been
Uh,
The coaches that they've had that have been legit.
coaches. Yeah. I mean, I always think there's always been a mutual respect between OU and Alabama.
That's because you guys are an actual blue blood, not
Yeah.
a team that claims to be a blue blood.
Right.
Like
Right.
people talk Texas, and I laugh when they say blue blood.
Right.
How many national championships have they won? Like, you're blue blood, but 4. When's the last time you won one before? You know what I mean? Like, come on now. Like,
No, and I mean that's the whole thing is Oklahoma. It's 7 championships. Most of them have come since World War II. But if you think about what they've been, OU has always been, from the start they were always pretty good, and then they got really good, and they haven't stopped being really good. You haven't had these long periods of time for like they've had anywhere else that they haven't been relevant. They've always been winners, and so. I mean, you can say what you want about the last 12, 15 years, because in the last 25 years, basically, since they've won a natty. I'll give you that. But they've continued to be in discussion and been in championship games. And, I mean, they hadn't won them, but they've been there. It is what it is. And when you win 6, listen, I've said before that the reason that everybody expected so much out of Oklahoma and that they give Lincoln's still living off of credit from his OU years, but that was at the time that the Big 12 became trash. The Big 12, the best team in the Big 12, not named Oklahoma, wasn't Texas, it was Baylor.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. In Texas, they ran off everybody from the Big 12, Nebraska, Mizzou, CU, A&M, ran them all off, and then couldn't win the shit. They won 1 at the very end before you went to the SEC. Good for you.
Yeah.
Jason, you could probably answer this better than I can. Robert Mayfield's asking, why do you think the Sooners migrated to the SEC?
I think it's clear because of what I just said. The Big 12 is shit.
Yeah, that's 100% of why I would want my team to do that. I don't want to dominate a conference when I'm the only one standing. It's like, no offense, but do you want to be the smartest retard?
Listen,
I said no offense. Please don't take offense to that, people.
Yeah.
But because at the end of the day, it's what you are. You know what I mean? Like, so no, nobody wants to be that.
Yeah.
And that's the whole deal is that you literally have to look at it as look, they ran the program, or they ran the Big 12 into the dirt. The Big 12 was the best conference up until you started losing all these other teams. But when Texas got bad, when they fired Mac, and then they did all that bullshit that ran everybody off with the the Longhorn Network. Look, you can say what you want. Dan Beebe, who was the commissioner at the time when all that went down, he allowed that shit to happen. And then what's his name? The next ass clown that came in and screwed it all up and bitched and complained and all that stuff. But he didn't ever do anything. Everything was reactive. They didn't fix the damn conference when they should have fixed the fucking conference.
Right.
And so you allowed it to get to where it was. And it's one thing for OU to, you hear all these Big 12 homers saying, well, Oklahoma wishes they were back in the Big 12 instead of being in the SEC because they're never going to be able to win in the SEC. That's stupid talk. It's just dumb. You don't say that about Texas when Texas didn't win the Big 12 but one fucking time in the last 15 years that they were in it. They won it once. But Oklahoma wins it 10 times in the last 15 years that they're in it, and you're saying that they can never win in the SEC. That's just stupid. It's just stupid. But this is what you're going to hear because a lot of people are fucking casuals.
Yeah.
I think the smartest thing that should have been said was there's going to be a transition period, because that transition period had to happen with Brent Venables taking over a program and not expecting to come off and win the SEC in year 1 or year 2 or year 3. I mean, look how long it took Steve Sarkisian to get Texas on track. It's not like it happened overnight, guys. Where Texas is at did not happen over. It took years to get this thing together. So it's the same thing for Oklahoma. You're not going to turn this program. It is so rare to turn around a program quickly. What Saban did at Alabama should not be considered normal. This is not.
No.
He got there in 2007 and won a title in 2009.
I think what they was, when Brent took over, what they was wanting to hope, as far as Sooner fans goes, is, remember, Stoops come in '99. He took us to our first bowl game since forever, and then the next year won the Natty.
Yeah.
And so I think these Sooner, and Barry Switzer the same way, came in 72, got put on probation, won 2 back-to-backs his first year. So Sooner fans are spoiled, so to speak, when you get a new head coach like Stoops and Switzer, that you want it right then, right there, right now. Well, with the new NIL, the collective, in my, gone are the Sabans and the Stoopses coming into a program and immediately turn that program around. Because Jason, you know this, we've talked about this. When Brent come into the program, our program was gutted. And Brent, he didn't have a starting player one on the team.
44 guys left the program. 44 guys, including 2 5-star quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And he basically had to patchwork a team for his first year. So, I'm just saying, as these Sooner fans that you see, that is why they are like how they are.
And
spoiled.
Don't get it twisted. Alabama fans are spoiled. I mean, Kalen DeBoer was 9-3, and they're looking for a tree to hang this dude from. Like, I'm like, damn. Like, this dude won 9 games his first year. I get it. But you know what I mean? Yeah, because everybody's like, he was handed keys to
he got handed Nick Saban's team. Well, Nick Saban hadn't won anything since 2020 either.
33 players left. The 119 assistants, 101 left. This dude had to basically build an entire staff on the cuff. His offensive coordinator and O-line, by the way, position group, both left the week prior. They're supposed to fly into Alabama. So he had to find basically just give Nick Sheridan a promotion to be the offensive coordinator and go out and find a whole new O-line coach. So, and plus the 33 players leaving, and when Nick Saban, God bless him, but dude, you had to leave in January, the worst time, because we can't bring nobody in. So you watch 33 players walk out the door. The only players you can bring in are your players from Washington, because that's the rule, right? Those players have 30 days to transfer, only from the schools that are getting or removing from the coaching staff, right? So, and that's what happened. So, and it's a total different world. We know that the Pac-12 is not, or whatever you want to call it now, is not the same as the SEC, guys. Like, everything you thought you knew, you don't know anymore. Everybody you did know, you don't know anymore. Like, you're recruiting in the South now.
Well, and here's the deal. And in the end, you have to go and you have to be able to recruit where you recruit best. And you better be playing the NIL game really well.
Hell yeah.
If you're not, you're screwed. You better play the transfer portal game correctly. And you have to have the right balance. Look, make no mistake. Anybody can move their way into that position with the money that every SEC program has. But you better know that there's no way that Oklahoma is going to sit idly by and turn into the next Nebraska like everybody keeps saying.
God, no.
The dumbest shit I've ever heard of. And by the way, Nebraska doesn't have to be that either.
No.
The difference is that Nebraska lost their Texas pipeline when they left the Big 12 because they're no longer playing in Texas. And you're not going to beat Michigan and Ohio State in the Midwest. You're not going to do it.
No.
So
No.
Oklahoma didn't lose their Texas pipeline whatsoever. In fact, they kept it, and they also added pipelines coming out of the South that they weren't necessarily always that good at recruiting until Brent got there, because he had established a nice little pipeline into Florida, into Georgia, into places like that while he was at Clemson.
Yeah.
IMG Academy.
There's a reason why that they still people keep acting like Oklahoma hasn't recruited well. They've been better at recruiting than ever, aside from last year when they were number 17, because they only took 17 kids. They needed the portal guys that they brought in. They needed them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, oh my God, he said Nebraska has a discount, Mahomes. Yeah, you're right. Now, don't worry, Nebraska's got a hell of a player coming in, Trey Taylor, that I've covered and talked to and interviewed. Dude's a hell of a player. I believe he's a 2026 class, 2027 class. I got to go back and look. But either way, I think it would have been better off for Nebraska to join the damn SEC. And then go out and get you an SEC-style coach that knows the South.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they didn't. They ended up where they're at. They lose their, I forgot what the status is called for
Blue blood status. Are they losing that? Do you think?
No, they're not. They won't ever lose a long-term blue blood status because they won so much under Osborne and all that.
Oh
Just
my
like
God.
Before that, yeah, even before that.
Yeah, so like, and the same thing with Oklahoma, like, so long, but short term, yeah, they've lost it, of course. In Nebraska, let's be real, Nebraska is not relevant.
They're not, and here's the thing: Matt Rule's making it worse. As much as I expected out of him going in there, I was like, if anybody's going to turn it around there, it'll be him, because of what he will recruit well. He'll play the portal game as well as he can, and you've got that Nebraska money behind him. And make no mistake, they're loaded. They got money.
Yeah.
They can afford it. The problem is that now you're afraid to play out of conference. Look, I'm going to tell you the biggest mistake made over the last 12 months was you got to get the SEC to go to 9 conference games. You got to get the SEC to go to 9 conference games. You know what? That was the only thing you had against them. And now, and in order for them to do that, they made the strength of schedule analytic thing that they're putting into this playoff selection, made it double what it was already, and added even another piece into that algorithm that is going to favor the SEC. Plus, you've got a 9th conference game. Plus, they still play a non-con game that's against a Power 4 team. You're fucked now. Now, all that shit that Nebraska and SC wanting to get rid of Notre Dame and, Penn State not playing anybody, all this, the way that the way that the conference was setting things up, Indiana, bringing on, getting rid of Virginia and bringing in that crap ass. Who was it? Fuck, I forget now.
I know.
A brand new program.
Yeah.
Anyway, them doing that doesn't do anything but hurt the Big Ten. The Big Ten's talking all this shit, but you fucked up.
Yeah.
It's a weird situation, man. It's
fucked up. We'll see.
Oh.
We'll see what happens, but to me, it's a bad idea on your part, because if we're really gonna do this strength of schedule and you're gonna, now, you can talk about the 9-game schedule like it mattered, and it didn't, but you can act like it matters. The truth is, now you just made the SEC stronger.
No, you're absolutely right.
Jack, the SEC refs don't let us do what we want, brother.
No. Anyway, what were you about to say?
All I was going to say is if you want to look at OU, how over the past, what is it, 3-4 years BB's been here? 3, 4.
This is year 4.
This year 4.
Yeah.
Look at his defense compared to when he first got here to now. Look at this defensive line.
He survived long enough for that defense to turn into what it is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And look, that's the difference in Lincoln's Sooners that could get to the 14 playoff because they played in a bad Big 12 and then get the shit kicked out of them. Only one of those years should they have won it all. Only one.
Yeah.
The rest of the time, what happened happened. But the truth of it is that 1 year they should have won it all was the year after Stoops. I mean, they hadn't lost everything out of that program. They still weren't good on defense, but they had the size in the trenches to compete. They didn't the next year. They didn't when they played. I was in the Orange Bowl when they played Alabama the next year, and we're down 28-3 before I got fucking sat down in my seat.
That was one of the craziest, dude. I remember watching that game. I wanted to get up to go get dip, and I was like, "Oh, 14-0. Oh, 21-0. What the hell is going on here?" Kyler Murray, what?
I was the year before though. I was at the Rose Bowl, and I'm looking at them in Georgia, and the size difference was not much. There wasn't much of one, right? The big boys that you needed in the trenches, all that stuff. It got smaller and smaller and smaller starting the very next year.
Yeah.
So even though they went to the playoff the next 2 years after that, there was no chance. I mean, number one, they ran into the national champions both years in the first game. The next time, I mean that LSU game, shit.
God.
What were you going to do there? Nobody could touch them. They went to Tuscaloosa and beat the shit out of Alabama that year.
That was whoever had the ball last. Yeah,
I mean, they didn't beat them by much.
Yeah, no, I got you.
They did. They had their way with Bama though.
You weren't going to beat LSU that year.
No.
It's just one of those.
No, because didn't they play Georgia in the championship game too and whip their ass?
In the SEC championship game? Yep. I can't remember if it was them or Florida, but whoever they played, because I believe that
I'm sure it was Georgia.
It may have been Georgia. All I know is Dan Mullen and McElwain took Florida to the SEC championship game. I believe their first or second year. Both of them did. But yeah.
Oh, Jason, I'm going to fly off here, brother.
Yeah, it's time for me to go.
Same.
Hey, Jonathan, always good seeing you, my man.
Same to you. Same to everybody.
Tell everybody how to find you first, man. Tell everybody how to find you.
You can find me here on YouTube at Sooner Legends Podcast. We're at 807 subscribers. For as little as $2.99 a month, you can become a member. We're growing. Be sure to check me and Mike Boganowski and Bishop Frank out every Monday at Mike and Mike on Monday at 3:30 p.m. Central Time.
All right, man. And Jonathan, tell everybody where to find you too.
Bama Standard Network. Find me over there. As far as Twitter goes, or whatever the hell you want to call it, X at JLewis85.
At JLewis85.
Yeah.
I'll put that on there right there too. Yeah, man. Appreciate you guys coming in, talking it up with us. We'll definitely get together coming up soon for, hey man, we got a second half that's getting ready to get started off, and it's gonna be fantastic.
Hey, I got an idea, Jason. If Jonathan ain't busy on Saturday nights like this, let's me, you, and him do a post game on everything like we did tonight.
Well, now I got my post game stuff coming with K. Chris and those dudes. So
yeah, you do. Yeah, you.
Yeah, and
I try to do some late shift stuff whenever there's not a post game, but Saturday nights are.
I forgot about it. My bad, though.
No promises.
My bad.
Yeah,
my bad.
We do a post game directly after every Alabama game. So
yeah,
we'll get together on some stuff, man. There's lots of time in between. We'll figure it out, and we've got some daytime morning shows that we can do. We can catch some afternoons. We'll see how all that goes and stuff. And you got your gig in that you're doing on the weekends too. So
yeah,
to say that you're
I'm gigging.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm picking a little guitar.
As long as you don't say gig 'em, we're good.
No, gig in.
I know that's why I said that. But
all right, fellas. We appreciate y'all coming in, man.
No, of course, and we will be. We'll be attending. Are you going to? What's your next Oklahoma game you're attending?
Probably Red River. But I'll definitely be, the chances are, should be in Tuscaloosa for that one. I definitely think that's going to be an important game for both schools. I don't know if I get tickets for that one or if I just tailgate, but I'll be there.
All right. Well, I'll definitely see you there. I'll be at the Vandy game. We're doing a live stream from the Paul Bear Bryant Museum Friday night. So if for anybody in the chat, it's Alabama fans. But
Ooh, I'll check you guys out for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Y'all.
You guys have a good night. Yeah, and I guess have a good night as always.
All right, guys. Thanks. For coming in. Hell yeah. All right, man. Appreciate both those guys coming in and checking us out. Appreciate all you guys for jumping in here with us as well, spending the last 3 hours. I don't know how the time goes like it does. We still only got like 50 likes out of like almost 1,000 views. So, I mean, come on, fellas. Hook us up. Make sure you hit the like button. Wipe your feet. Do not be disrespectful coming in here and spending all that time, man. But I appreciate everybody coming in, and we'll see you all on the next one.